All right. What is up, everybody? The Rookie Corner has returned. First time in a while. I've been dormant, and now it is back. And I've got two awesome guests with me today to just kick back with the Rookie Corner. We got the Mandy Summers. What's up, Mandy?
Like what? Hey, you guys. I'm over here with Rookie. I'm like, what, Jessi? How did this happen? Craziness, you guys. Hey, you guys.
That is my fault. Hold on, let me fix that.
Look how loud that was.
That's not what my voice sounds like, is it?
I said I was not going to forget to mute that when it started, and then I did. So.
That was what I had to do before I start again too. I'm like, God, I always do that. I open like one tab and then I open another one on accident.
Yep.
I get to close the other one.
I do it so many times. Like I'm a professional. I've done this. I've been here before. I still make the same mistakes I've made the entire time.
Oh yeah, I feel like that's what happens. Any YouTuber that is a professional ends up just making the same mistakes at some point. So
part of professionalism is inventing your own personal set of mistakes that you get to keep making justifiably over and over. And if anyone tries to correct you, you yell at them.
Exactly.
Right. Because how dare you?
Yeah.
How this is how I run stuff. I forget to share the screen or to share audio. Every time I play a trailer, I forget to share audio. I have to go back and do it.
Oh God, that one. Yeah, I'm like, why? Of course you want to share the audio. Why would I want to play anything without sharing the audio?
It should give you the option to mute it when it's playing if you want or something.
Right?
Just automatically share the audio and then turn it off. And why can't you turn it on or off while it's playing anyway? While it's sharing the screen.
Why not? That should be very doable.
Put a little mute button on the corner or right next to the stop sharing. Simple as that, I'd say.
Although I have to give StreamYard a lot of props. I mean, clearly, when Google Hangouts shut down, this became the new easiest place for everyone to go. And since the influx of streamers, they've really upped their game. They've really put more and more into our side of things, giving us so many more options to bring the best content to you guys.
I remember back in the olden days when young StreamYards only allowed 6 people on a panel and you had no cool things you can do with it on the sides with videos and those picture things and everything.
Buttons and videos.
We got it so good now. and now I'm going to turn into an old lady. I'm 40. No. It's okay.
Your name is Flo, and you have smoked you a camel or two today.
This may or may not be a character called Jafagatha in the next project that I do. I don't know.
Oh no!
So I'm on a wonderful new app called Live It. It's a streaming app. I'm m.e.godempress if you want to check it out over there. And on Fridays, Jeff joins me. We're doing some character improv. And Jeff joins us as Old Man Hootercoot is Jeff. And then I'm Old Lady Poppycock, and we've been married for far too long, and we have to go about our business and figure out what we want to eat for dinner. And we still have to bang, even though we kind of hate each other. So
should we get Wendy's? No.
Right.
So working with that, and Social Justice Jessi now makes live appearances. And then my favorite is Yiddish Yeshaya gives you Meshuggah news. She just lets you know what's going on in the world and tells you to calm down about it. Everyone needs a Jewish mother in the house. Everyone just needs a good Jewish mother. And it's actually, Yeshaya is my actual Jewish name, right? That's my Hebrew name. Now, if you know things about Hebrew, right, Yeshaya is a boy's name. Yeah, Yeshaya ain't a boy. My parents apparently didn't figure that one out when they gave me my Hebrew name. Hilarious for, the short-haired, androgynous, Kurt Cobain-loving chick who got called a boy all through her teenage years. So,
Yeah, makes sense.
What can you do?
Oh, that's awesome. We got the Ancient One in the house, says, what's up, a rookie critic with Mandy Summers and Jessi Milestone.
Woo, what's up, Ancient One?
Yep, been a while. What's up? He says, oh, yeah. I don't know if that's copying Mandy. And she goes, oh, yeah. That reminds me of when he had you read out the thing to do the cookie thing. You're like, I want Rookie's cookies.
Yes.
Oh, my.
That's funny. Oh, yes. And what's up? We got Spike and Madness. What's up? Says, hi, Jeff. What's up? Riot Kitty down here. Hello, hello. Good to see you guys again. I know I am back. I do still exist around here. He says, hail Greek mythology, and I love blue Twilight women. Of course, Apollo, naturally.
Well, of course. What's not to love?
Greek mythology is also pretty dope in my book. So,
Hell yeah. I mean, the first, I don't know why they don't invent a Roman Coke. I mean, that's what they should do.
that seems necessary. It seems like an oversight that it hasn't happened yet.
Well, it's like I could have sworn that was something when I said that on my first legal drink. I'm like, I'll have a Roman Coke with confidence. And they're just like, fucking noob. I'm like, all right.
I was reading lists intended to make you feel old before this, and it succeeded because one was saying about handing someone the card. They looked at the card, getting carded at a bar, and said, oh, I see the one for your birth year. You're good. And I've just had that moment of, oh dear God. The people, like, I still think of, like, if you're born in 1999, you're a child. No, if you're born in 1999, you can legally drink alcohol.
Right.
I don't want to live in this world anymore. It's too confusing.
Yeah, that's scary, isn't it?
Yes.
And apparently people are saying things on Twitter like, man, I wish I was from the 90s. And
Why?
I'm still wrapping my head around the fact that there are people who were born after the 90s.
I know.
Existence.
The last real decade. What do you have after that? The 2000s and then the 2010s? Those aren't real decades. Those are just numbers. Come on.
Yeah.
They don't mean anything.
Exactly. Yeah. So real quick, Mando Mark as well. And that's just about wrapping up everybody in here. He says, hey man, long time no see. Exactly. I am back. We got Second Street Marvel. What's up, dude? Good to see you around. Reviews comics every now and then and talk some movies. We got Wookie in the house. What's up, Wook? The first notification I got in a long time to cast the show. Good.
Did y'all hear my really good Wookiee impersonation?
I thought that was a cat purring.
No, that was my Wookiee impersonation. Pretty good, right? I could fool y'all. Y'all would have no idea if I was around the corner and I made that noise. Be like, oh shit, there's a Wookiee.
Sounded like a Wookiee's last breath.
And shout out to Mando Merck, because we'll be streaming together tomorrow night. We're doing some Halo animation, and it'll be my first drunk stream of the new year, first Thirsty Thursday. And, my liver is sad. All right, it's preemptively sad.
You got specific drinks planned for Halo?
I haven't thought of it yet, but beer feels right.
I was gonna say, you gotta drink it from big old glass or something, a pitcher.
So the thing is, it's either gonna be beer or it's gonna be an alcoholic variation of a beverage known only to my group of friends as Jimmy Soda, because of named after the kid strange enough to invent this. So everyone had a group of friends. Everyone had their group of Halo LAN party friends, if they played Halo. And my group involved this psycho kid who was probably on Ritalin named Jimmy, who invented Jimmy Soda, which was Mountain Dew, crushed up Smarties, Pixie Sticks. There was some other form of sugar, Fun Dip it might have been. And this was all just shaken together and chugged. And if you could do it without puking, it was considered impressive. And then if you could survive the rest of the afternoon after a glass of Jimmy Soda, it was considered a feat of, whatever. So I feel like the New Orleans hand grenade is probably the closest alcoholic beverages to the Jimmy Soda. So I will have to figure out how to replicate that for our Halo party tomorrow.
Man, Smarties is great, but it with soda. And the Pixies. That's an interesting combo there.
It's terrifying.
That sounds like when I was a kid, I thought that I could just make a cool drink by putting things in my drink. And so I had like apple juice and an Oreo. And then I looked at it and went, I'm not drinking that. Never mind.
Yeah.
No.
Sprite, cereal, and whipped cream.
Sprite, cereal, and whipped cream. That's a new one.
Yep. I liked making potions.
Nice.
That was the weirdest one that I made with my friends that we then tried.
Okay. Was it? Did you have to eat the whole bowl? Did you just have to taste it?
We tasted it, but it was It was not as terrible as you would expect. It was really shockingly less disgusting than you would expect it would be. It's not something. It's not the off-putting part was having to chew part of this beverage.
No.
Oh man!
Oh, no.
I thought you were implying it was more like a cereal than a beverage to drink.
It was more like a weird smoothie. The chewing was off-putting, but the individual flavors all actually paired together reasonably well, like way better than I would ever expected. But I mean, someone saying milk and Pepsi is great. I feel like that's weirder than
No, that would cause some tummy problems, I would imagine. I don't think it's a mix.
Iron stomachs, some people are weird.
If somebody gagged when they did it, would they say,
"You're toast, bitch! You're toast, bitch!"
That's a clip from a movie that nobody watches called Blood Angels, and I thought it has some of the most hilarious dialogue and funny stuff in there.
Nice.
Exactly.
Mando Merc, thank you. I can only read Hebrew anyway when it has the vowels, and I don't understand it. So I just know my Hebrew name and some of the prayers.
Oh yes, I had pizza and a smoothie today.
Yeah, but we did not have a pizza smoothie, and that's an important distinction.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, Mandy.
Pizza sounds good.
Yeah. Now you top Jessi, Mandy. What crazy concoctions have you made in your day?
I was not an adventurous eater. I was a picky eater. My mishaps always came with tried to make a homemade cake and it caught fire and literally caught fire. I wanted to melt down a candle because I wanted to make it into a new candle. You can melt them down and then add I put that in the microwave and I blew up a microwave because the candles had metal wicks in them and I didn't think about that. I put a tub of ice cream in a toaster oven to soften it so I could scoop it easier. And I walked off and forgot about it and I burnt that part of the kitchen. What?
You burnt ice cream.
I burnt ice cream. Yeah.
That must have been fun to tell the people to come in. So we're fixing the kitchen. What started the fire? Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Yeah. The most known to cause fires.
That shit was hard. I couldn't scoop it, and I got pissed off. And I was like, and I'd already blew up the microwave with the candle a week earlier. So I thought, well, I'll just put it in the toaster oven. And then I walked off for a video game, and
you got too into the game and forgot
you were
about
blowing up candles, and they weren't even vagina scented.
No, they were not. I've been doing it long before she has.
God damn it!
It's just
I knew you were a hack.
How did you see the picture of the lady holding it all sad about it? A candle. Why did you buy that? What on God's green earth was running through your mind when she picked up the phone and was like, "Oh, let me get me one of them coochie candles." It's just
I did read that she won it from something
she won. Oh, what kind of content?
Now it's actually a tragedy because she just thought she won this special gift. Wow, I would never have bought this damn thing, but it's worth $75.
Bingo night at her friend's house. They're like, "Oh shit, we bought these dumb candles. Well, we can't keep them around here. Our kids might see them. Oh, we'll just give them away at our next bingo night. Okay, that'll be fine."
Exactly. And
give it to Carol. That'll be fine.
I can't fathom anybody seeing that and being like, "That's the scent for my house," and just going on and ordering it for anything.
On the commercial, they're just holding their breath. And so you want to get the candle real quick before I run out of breath. Come on, get the candle.
Why would anybody buy any product called "This Smells Like My Vagina"?
Right?
Is that what it was called?
That's actually what the candle is called.
It wasn't Mevagenique or something. It wasn't some clever name of the word.
Called "This Smells Like My Vagina."
Down points for uncreativity. I mean, come on.
Do you know why? Because I bothered reading an entire article about this exploding candle because I was so intrigued. I learned that apparently this came from a session in which they were putting smells together, and Gwyneth Paltrow went, this smells like my vagina. And they thought, wow, we truly have a winner right here, title and all. Sometimes I'm just baffled by...
What is she doing in her free time that she can smell stuff and say, this smells like my vagina? What is going on down there? She needs a doctor.
Well, and no, I want to know if her friend was like, can I smell that?
Right.
I want to smell it too. Is there a way we can like spread the smell without me being in the room? Maybe, I don't know.
That's how I imagine the kind of woman that Gwyneth Paltrow is, though. She surrounds herself with such sycophants that a guy was probably between her legs, some like simpy little boy going, oh, your vagina smells so heavenly. I wish you could just put it in a candle so I could smell you all the time. And she went, wow, that's a brilliant idea. I'll bet young men and women everywhere would be inspired by the scent of my vagina.
Yeah, have grandma, grandpa come over. It's great to put it on. When you light a stink, you want to counter it with the pink, but that's not going to work this time.
Oh, no.
When you think that your vagina is a marketable smell, your head is too far up your ass.
It's way too far up your ass.
The question would be, if you put it on after you had one in the bathroom scented, would it be worse or better than the smell that's already there? Is the question.
It depends on what the bathroom was last used for.
I was going to say, it kind of depends on the condition she sent the scent into the candle or something.
That's also true. Like what type of
activity?
Gwyneth, I don't believe that your vagina smells like perfume and roses all day long. Like, is this Gwyneth Paltrow's stanky vagina, or is this Gwyneth Paltrow's like fresh pressed?
There'll be the rainbow candles collection for Gwyneth Paltrow. The different colors representing different smells, most likely.
And what's up, Reese? Go Birds!
What's up? Good to see everybody. Let's transition out of the candle talk to Godzilla in a sec, which I feel deserves a big old Godzilla type of intro.
Shall we begin?
So it begins. And now it begins. So it begins.
And so it begins.
Shall we begin?
Shall I begin? Shall we begin? Shall we begin? Shall we begin?
Shall we begin? Yes.
Holy shit, they have used that line in a lot of movies.
Yes, they have, which is why I was like, I saw that in Spartacus. It's pretty funny. Of course, Lord of the Rings. I said this one other thing. I'm like, God, how many do they do this? I looked it up, and this was only like a fraction of them that I picked to fit under 30 seconds for it. There's still more. I'm like, God, they need to stop saying that line.
It's something else. There's a lot of other versions.
Mm-hmm. So it starts. It'd be like, no, can't do it.
Here we go.
Yeah, but did you guys see the Godzilla versus King Kong trailer?
Yes. Oh my gosh. So I'm not even a big, I know who Godzilla is. I haven't lived under a rock. I know who it is, but I've never really got excited about Godzilla. Yeah. But this one looks awesome. And I think I just want to go back to the theater, and I want to hear those roars, and I want to see the effect, and I want to do it in a theater. I refuse to watch this anywhere but in a theater. Yeah. But it looks really good. I mean, you
want to have the roar of Godzilla and the punch from King Kong. You be shaking your seat, and the sound go like, oh shoot, okay, he's right here. All right.
Exactly. I'm stoked. I cannot wait until this comes out.
That should be the first movie that plays for opening theaters or something, coming back everywhere. Okay, all theaters open. Godzilla.
It would be the perfect one. They really are movie theater movies, especially now with the quality of the graphics. It really looks incredible what they're able to do with these creatures. There is a part of me inside, because Godzilla vs. King Kong was my absolute favorite as a kid, that yearns for the ridiculous puppetry and the cheesy special effects that do not hold up, because I love it. And that was my childhood. It's what's familiar to me. But I also understand that that's my personal nostalgia berry. And I'm going to bury that one and go, this looks cool as shit. My one thing about these newer, it's not really complaining about this, because it's really how they've designed Godzilla in the newer era. I don't love the thick neck thing. Like I liked a little more. I don't mind big beefy Godzilla. I just feel like the massive neck tunneling to this bitty little head just looks a little funky. It never quite sold me. But again, it's a small thing that I can overlook because
I want to do some neck crunches a little more to burn the
well,
fat.
like if I had a horse with a neck like that, we'd be doing a lot of agility work to get a little more rounding, a little more bend in that neck, a little more
To just sit on top of the head, not sprout from the neck.
exactly, not like so. But outside of that, and again, like I can't really say that's for this movie because it's really been the creature design, and I've gotten used to it. So outside of that, I'm with you. It's got to be a theater experience. So I hope that everything balance times out right with that. It really would be. I think you'd lose out a lot. Although with the resurgence of drive-ins, I think that it counts as a theater experience in my mind. That would be a supremely cool way to see a Godzilla movie. I think.
Yeah.
If I had my pick, actually, I would pick a nice drive-in theater. I think.
Yeah.
I have never been to one nor seen one anywhere around where I live. I didn't know they still existed in modern day.
That is so crazy too. Because like we had one and it was amazing. You could get like a whole carload in for like $5, and the popcorn was like this big and like $2. So it was great. But ours got hit by a tornado and they never rebuilt it. So
Oh no.
Well, Ricky, there's a lot of like around here, I know for sure, and a lot of other cities I've been hearing about. They've been popping up, because of the theater closures. Mm-hmm. It's an opportunity, for people to go see things on the big screen. We did have one down the street it was about 20 minutes down the road from my college, and it was an event, to go when it was open in the summertime. And the neat thing was it had that holdover, sentiment. So it was priced way lower than everything else in the area, including the food and all that stuff. Yeah. And things like they had jumper cables, because you ran your battery into the night, running the sound out of your speakers through the AM station. And then you had to get jumped by the end. They always had to jump people at the end of the night. So the one time we took my friend's crappy old truck, it was no, we're like freaking out. Oh no, we're going to need a tow. No big deal. They pull out the jumper cables and you're good to go. So it's stuff like drive-ins just foster stories, There's something really, really magical about that.
Yeah, I wish I could experience those. As far as I can tell, we have technology to pretty much make a drive-in theater anywhere. As far as is there a wall or a projector screen you can put up somewhere? You can technically make one. Though I've heard that if you want to charge anybody for it, you have to have a license to be able to do that or something to play a movie and charge. Though I don't know if they could get you you're going to watch the movie for free, but we did provide you with food. So
I'm pretty sure if you allowed free admission and charged people refreshments, you could do that. That's because they do that. That's a big thing. Movies in the parks where they'll do that. They'll get a big inflatable screen, or the one they do in LA. It's on the Hollywood Forever Cemetery on one of the big old marble wall. I saw the Goonies there a couple summers ago, and they get a ton of food trucks down there. They contract a bunch of food trucks to come down. I think it's something like, they charge you admission is not like, you're charging you to see the movie. It's like, we're charging you you're paying like you pay basically a parking fee. Your admission is your price of admission essentially, or something like that. And I love that kind of stuff because it's the same feel whenever you have those movies in the park kind of experience as it's that same kind of drive-in experience. Like you always make new friends, you always make new memories, you always something quirky or weird always happens. Someone falls asleep.
Of course.
It's
I think while schools weren't being used for the longest time, that's where they should have had more drive-in stuff set up to utilize their empty parking lots or something. Or at the drive-in or at the movie theaters, have that be the drive-in spot or something. Put up a wall.
Perfect too. When you talk about a movie theater, complex that doesn't have windows on the side, so you have a lot of big smooth walls where you could put movies. Just turn the parking lot into the attraction.
Yep.
That would be cool. So I don't know. I'm hoping. So I still think there's hope for theaters, but it really depends on people's investment to get up and go, and depends on how much it costs. I suppose people still don't like it being around $15, which I'm okay with, especially Cinetopia, there's only 4 of them in the world, but AMC bought them out, and now they're crap now. I'd say Cinetopia was high class as hell with how it was, but it was like there was a whole Vinatopia area where you could go have a fancy dinner if you want with a date. You can the seats were extremely nice, just the casual seats were nice, and then even better with the footstool in the high up area, a little more you could get service to you with it. Expensive ass food for it, but still tasted good, and you can watch it. Screen was always good. It was always clean enough. It was not the sticky commonality you'd see somewhere else. I go to a real one and I like barely touch the back of the seat in front of me and it falls off. There's like a hole in the screen and sticky floors. It's like, this is very different. So,
yeah.
Dude,
the theaters in LA are like another world. It's like movie theaters in LA are treated with the class that theaters are treated in New York. So it's nice out here. Although I will say, an interesting thought train about the theaters coming back or not. Some people observed, interestingly, that just before all the pandemic stuff hit, a bunch of CEOs of major companies resigned, as if they knew it was a bad time to be at the helm of a large economic enterprise. Yeah. So, there's, of course, it makes sense that certain powerful people know more things, are privy to information the public is not. So now, just a couple in the past week or so, we had a bunch of new pushbacks from different films that had seemed, some of which had seemed like Black Widow fairly resigned to a primarily streaming fate.
Yeah,
suddenly get pushed back again. Things like James Bond that always was trying to hold out for the theaters and whatnot. But that was one that really stuck out to me because that one felt like they had been pretty resigned to and committed to streaming world, and we got to roll this out because we're rolling out phase 4. So that to me says, well, if they know something we don't know, what they know is that there's hopes for a resurgence of the theaters sooner rather than later.
I agree with that. Like, I swear it was the last time I was on this channel. So like 6 months ago, I think I sat here and I told you, Jeff, that it's probably dead. Theaters are probably dead.
Yeah.
But now 6 months later, I've got to get the hell out of this house, y'all. Now, I've got to have something to do. Because I'm losing my mind. So even if it is going and overpaying to go to a theater, at this point, I'll just get me the hell out of the house.
I almost want to, even if it's a bad experience, like if there's other people in there being annoying, I kind of want to go, hey, you shut up. But thank you, because human, we see you. We're watching. I remember these feelings. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. I still think we should have a button that zaps people that crinkle too loud, though. And they have, I don't know why they serve food in wrappers at a
how
theater.
do the people not realize? Open the damn bag and shut up with it. Why are you over there like you can't open it? Give me the damn bag. I'll open it.
Why do they sell them in wrappers? Why aren't they in something else that isn't, super noisy? Just barely
a receptacle so you can just dump it in before the movie. Calm down.
Bring your own Tupperware or something. Here you go. Stick your candy in the M&Ms in your old ham bag or something. Your old ham container.
My family used to do popcorn the Jewish way, where we would go and get the big tub, and then my mom would have brought, paper bags from home, and we divvy up the popcorn in the paper bags during the trailers, and my dad would go out for the free refill before the movie even started, and we'd have enough popcorn for the whole family.
Right.
That's the Jewish way.
Nice. Yeah, and I don't know. Yeah, I kind of miss wanting to support theaters too. That was one reason why I went a lot a couple of years ago. I was like, hey, I want to help them out, even though I don't want the food half the time or popcorn. I'll do it, give them a few bucks with it.
A lot of money, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know. I still hate how little they make. How little theaters make when it's like, this was a gathering point for people to, enjoy a movie together, even though you hate everybody there half the time because they usually annoy you. But then sometimes you have the moment where like, yes, there's other people watching this same thing and they're like going, oh yeah, or oh, what the hell was this? With you, it's with a stranger, you can't get that in your house. So unless you invite strangers over to have that, but that's a little different. I don't know how that would go, but I
remember the best thing I could ever think of being in the theater. I don't even remember what movie I went to see, but they were doing a preview for Jason in Space, and the entire like theater started laughing about holy shit, no they're not. No, they're not doing some racing in space. And that will always like resonate with me of how just wow.
I want they keep on playing good movies, or like they keep on trying to play classic movies in theaters that are open to get people back. I want them to play some crap ones so I can watch some schlock on a big screen with random people watching it as well and be like, look at this. What are they doing here? Remember that direct to streaming Tremors? Look at this stupid bull crap. No.
Oh my God.
I want them to play Sharknado. I want to see Sharknado on the big screen.
Was that never a big? I thought that was always.
I saw it originally. I saw it on Sci-Fi or something like that. It may have went to the theater, but you're
probably right. Sci-Fi tends to have like a slot machine of random animals, and they'll spin it. Okay, we got shark. Okay, we got lizard. Shark, lizard. Boom. We got shark and Christmas. Santa Jaws. That is a movie, Santa Jaws.
Not only am I aware that that's a movie, I have watched the opening of it.
Well, why did I not know that was a thing?
Did you guys? I gotta screen share.
You're better off not.
Hold on. No, there's a better one. You guys ever hear of Dick Shark?
No.
Dick Shark. No.
Have you ever heard of Dick Shark?
It's a movie.
Got headphones in. I believe you. I mean, Edward Penis Hands is also a movie.
No, but I guess so. The question is, this came up on a different stream. I forget how we got onto it. We were talking about shark movies, and somebody brought this up, and it's on IMDb. I don't know if it's supposed to be a legit movie, like a sci-fi one, or a porno. I don't know.
Porno. This is a porno.
I don't know.
This
has to be a porno.
It's a porno. This is definitely 1,000% a porno.
It says a romantic couple get more than they expected after the husband's experiments with penis enlargement cream goes awry.
Yes, this is a porno.
Okay.
If you're lucky, it's a snuff film.
That would just be funny if it was like a small filmmaker trying to do what he can with what he has. He's like, okay, I'm going to make this film.
Does his wang turn into a shark? Is that what I'm understanding here?
Yes, it turns into one.
Dick Shark is going down on the list for a later watch. Okay, checking that out.
Is Mary Bam trying to get me to notice her in the chat or get you to notice her? I don't know. Because she was saying my name a whole bunch of times and stuff.
Oh, what's up, Mary? Yeah, I thought she was streaming as well, so I'm glad to see you around. That might have just ended a little bit ago. Sweet.
I was saying earlier, so Mary has been such a doll because Jeff and I are still figuring out all of our streaming stuff over on Twitch. And when we asked for their help, she aggressively tried to set it up. And I was like, cool, we're a little busy today, so we'll get with you later this week. And I have not done that. So I just want to shout out to Mary for being the most helpful person ever and me for being a jerk who's taking total advantage of my friend.
Oh, man. Yep, she said, "Hail the goddess." What was it? Hail the emperor goddess. All that jazz, Jessi.
That's the new one for me. I like it.
You got all that jazz.
All that jazz. I'm gonna pull my stockings down, and all that jazz. Come on, babe. I know a whoopee sparkle stop.
You can sing though. That's good. That's a really good. See, I sound horrible. I play the flute because I have to make my music elsewise. So
that's good to know too because I'm collecting musicians. I've started to be practicing more again. I've started writing my songs again, and I'm always collecting musicians. And I do a lot of rock, but I also have a foot in folk. And I love flute and folk as well. So.
Oh, awesome! Very cool. Well, yeah, just hit me up if you need some land down under type flute shit.
Yeah,
hit me up. I got you.
When was the last time you fluted?
Flouted, I believe, is the appropriate.
2 days ago, I was playing Knights of the Round Table. Knights of the Round Table.
Monty Python.
Yeah.
Love that.
Oh man, yes, that a new app I'm on over on Live It. Mondays I'm doing music. We were supposed to do our Mario stream on Monday night, and I just kept going on my Live It stream and ended up singing and playing for 4 hours.
Nice.
It's been so fun. So I'm getting back in my thing. It's coming back to me. So I'm pulling the guitar out almost every day now.
Nice. What kind of guitar do you play?
God, the one I have with me is just my very, very first one. It's a Squire Fender. It's the only electric guitar I've ever owned. I have a classical guitar back in my parents' house, and I have a mandolin as well that I play a lot. So.
Very cool. I rock a Daisy Rock, and it's sparkly and hot pink. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. I love it.
That is actually what my husband does. He's a guitar player. He's a musician. So.
Oh shit! No way. That's awesome.
Yes. So
Jamming the electric guitar or more the classical?
he does both. He does mostly alternative, so it's usually the electric, but occasionally he'll unplug and do some acoustic.
Awesome. That's so fun. I started learning a little classical guitar back when I was in college, and I wanted to continue with it. I wanted to get good enough to try a little Spanish guitaring at some point.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Nice.
I piss my husband off all the time because he's like, I could teach you to be so good, but you don't get it because it like starts hurting my fingers and shit. I'm like,
can I play guitar?
Okay,
here?
I
That's
love-
easier.
right? Like I like playing doll parts. I like play, but after a while my fingers start getting sore and then I'm like, fuck this, I'm done.
Guitar is one of those instruments. It's like you either play it, you know enough to play a few songs, you play it very casually, have a good time, or you have to like sink time into it. There's really no middle ground. There's no, because you don't really get any value out of the middle ground, right? There's like, you just get painful fingers and you don't really get anywhere. So it's either you're going to be a guitar player or you're going to be one of the people, which I was for a very long time too. That's like, I know my way around a handful of chords. I know my way around a handful of stuff. And, I play the songs I like to play. I always consider myself more of a rhythm guitarist and a vocalist first. And the music, and even with guitaring, like I'm a musician before I'm a guitarist. It's about the composition of the whole song and how it comes together, as opposed to I would never tout my qualities as a guitar player.
Right.
Nice. Yeah, I could never get a rhythm at all with anything. So I could try to rhyme, but no, as far as doing a beat, it would never work. I remember me and my buddy, we learned a few things on a guitar a little bit, and all we could come up with for song, we're like, it's a long way home, it's a long way there. And we just came up with words that rhyme with there, and we don't know anything else to play. So we're like on a regular guitar, and it was pathetic.
I could regale you with lyrics from my teenage punk rock band. We were called Wasting Time. It was awesome.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's a good name, right?
Wasting Time. That sounds like that would be a name of something,
It's like a good punk band name. That's kind of what our bent was. So we had some good ones. I played one on Live It the other day. I'm like, you know what? I stand by the song. I wrote this shit when I was like 13 years old. I stand by the song. The lyrics don't suck. The music doesn't suck. I even then revisit a few of my other ones. I'm like, I can Frankenstein a few of these songs, and I wrote some damn good lyrics as a freaking teenager, and I stand by it.
You should make a comeback with some of those. One of those on your other channel there.
I mean, don't be surprised if there's a Mindless Entertainment album out before the end of the year. So.
Oh yeah, hell yeah! Looking forward to that. Real quick, we got a $3 super chat from Justin Proper. What's up, my friend? Says F Mustard Rookie is cool, and what the fuck is Jeff doing? I don't know what you're referring to at what point. Honestly, could have been doing anything.
Unless he's referring to that Jeff who's back there editing.
Oh, the other Jeff. Oh, because no, he made the distinction Rookie and then Jeff. Right, that makes sense. Yeah,
a bit confusing. I'll refer to him as boyfriend during the stream, so avoid any confusion.
From here, I can't tell if he's on a computer or not. So it looks like he's just staring at the mirror or something.
Oh, that's
like he's looking out the window, like he's really deep into something.
Everyone just loves the fact that because you can't see the computer from where you are, when everyone sees you back there, it just looks like you're sitting there staring out the window.
He looks like he's in timeout and he's mad. He's like,
hello, darkness, my old friend.
Oh my god. Jane is giving me the weirdest look while being groomed by his brother right now.
Aww.
It's so cold in California, and we don't turn on our heat because we're not pussies. But it's been going down to the 30s at night, so it's freezing and close to actually being freezing in here. Hence, the bathrobe, the blanket. I got a heated blanket over here that I might throw on. So every time I go and look over at the bed, 2 or more of the cats are, arm over arm, intertwined, nestled together, and it's precious.
So cute. Do you have a Snuggie? I've got like 3 of them fuckers. They're nice.
I had one. I was just telling Jeff earlier how I had one way back. Right now, bathrobes are my thing. I have like 7 fuzzy bathrobes.
Nice. I need to get one. I've got like silk ones, but they're silk. They're not very warming. They just stop me from getting makeup on me when I'm trying to get ready. Yeah. So they're not practical. So I walk around in my stupid Snuggies.
This is my high class one. This was a birthday present from my dad. It's an LL Bean, and it's got this plush hood and the little plush sleeves, and it has been worn to shit in the year and change that I've had it, because it is magical. I feel like I'm just enveloped in the lap of luxury every time I slip it on.
That's fancy. That's fancy.
I have my zebra stripe robe. I call it my Ernest Hemingway robe because it looks like something a depressed writer would wear. I have my red fuzzy pimp robe, my Han Solo robe, my Chewbacca robe, and my fancy robe that has the the faux fur collar. Yep. So
nice. I like how while you're talking about that, I have Mary Ma'am super chat. Thank you, by the way, for Notice Me Senpai. And you're just like, I'm talking about jackets and talking about other things. I'm not gonna look at this. Just gonna ignore it.
I love you, Mary.
That's funny. Yep. Good seeing you around. Yeah, I assume the senpai is to the Empress, so that makes sense. But yeah, I hope everybody's doing good. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for popping on in. We're having a good old time. Very random area of topics we've gone into already with things. You never know what we'll go into next. I wonder if people were to catalog the categories, what nonsense it would be by one point.
So fun. I'm going to start doing that with my live streams. I'm going to go back and write a program. Like, at this time, we talk about, I don't know, virgin hookers. At this time, we talk about mom sluts.
Yeah, you go into it with like a plan, but there's never any real rhyme or reason, and it never ends up.
Yeah.
I spent one night, I did nothing but bring a picture of a devil sandwich. It was a red breaded sandwich, and like, we talked about that for like almost an hour and a half, and I don't know how the hell that happened because we were talking about a devil sandwich. But
last night, Rob from Midnight's Edge was doing his best George Takei impression while hitting on Chris Gore. So that was
yeah, I saw that.
So yeah, the random that was yeah. You would be in good company, Mandy. It sounds like in the Jack Show with the sandwich, because I'm pretty sure they have stumbled upon an object, an anecdote, or a video, and spent their 4-hour comic stream on just that. Or on
I don't know how it happens either. It really like snowballs into some very odd topics sometimes. It's crazy.
Mandy, I out of curiosity, since I'm always interested hearing from the other women on out in the world, in the creative sphere. What are your weirdos like? Everyone has weirdos. What are your weirdos like?
My weirdos, you got 2 sets. You have the ones that do not want females in their hobby at all. Women, get out. Get the hell out of our hobbies. Then you have the others that just send you unsolicited dick pics, and you're like, what am I supposed to do with this? So I get 2 different kinds. Sometimes I get both in the same person, and that's really exciting because it's like, wow, you are an interesting character. You want me gone, but you want me to see your dick too. That's impressive. That's neat.
Oh, that's like freaking for all the issues. That's carrying every girl's rejection stemming all the way back to grade school. Oh, that shit's deep. That's probably a really romantic dinner, some crying after sex, and then you never have to see him again.
Right? And then they feel like they're doing you wrong because I ain't calling her back. back, and they feel like they're really getting one over on you, and you're like, oh, thank God. What was I thinking?
that was a night we'll never tell our friends about.
Yes,
Meanwhile, they go back to their friends and they're like, man, I banged this super hot bitch. Like, she's awful, but like, she's so hot. Like, check her out. Oh, she's so terrible. See how terrible she is? See how terrible? Look at her. Yeah, oh my God. Oh, you're so ashamed.
Yeah, those are the interesting ones. The ones that play both. Get out of my hobby, but look at my dick. But get out of my hobby, but you see my balls, right? But wait, you shouldn't be here. So it's very odd.
Those my favorite, if a similar fucked up psyche, are my brand of haters, which are the listen, little girl, let me mansplain to you exactly why you're doing feminism wrong. I'm like, wait, what? Can you run that one by me again? Because I missed a piece here. It's either the piece where you don't have a brain or the part where you're kidding. Because if I didn't miss one of those pieces, your ass is getting handed to you down your throat.
Right. And I bet they never come back with anything either.
Not usually. They're not smart enough for that. And they're like, okay, little girl. Okay, little girl. And I'm like, I'm going to go have sex with a man and have a day. Go enjoy whacking off onto this screen as you refresh, desperately hoping that I'm still paying attention to you.
Damn. Laying down the mic.
Also, like, you see them. You can't leave any room for weirdos. You give an inch, they take a mile.
That is true.
Indeed. Now, speaking of miles,
I want to be very clear. I can tolerate a lot of weird before you get to weirdo. So,
oh yeah,
a lot of weird, no weirdo.
I gotcha. Speaking of Miles, Justin asked Jessi, and when she and Jeff are finally going to visit Ohio.
We have plans to be there in July.
All right, summer road trip.
That is the plan. That is what we're hoping for, to get to go see all our families again.
Nice. Yeah, my dad lives in Ohio. Actually, he's in Akron, I think. I'm trying to go out there at some point, but I was like, hey, do you want me to come down in the summer? He's like, if the shit's all closed, don't even bother. Just wait till it's next time. I'm like, all right, fine. He just says that bluntly like that. Sure. Yep, no problem. Oh yeah. See, I didn't think I thought that there'd be more chances of people being able to fly with the C virus and everything, but no, they have to have enough people to fly them somewhere, apparently. So if there's not enough people going, can't fly there.
Oh, but I rode on a plane like just not too long ago. I went to Texas to visit family over Christmas, and we flew. The airlines have really gone down the shitter in the past few years, haven't they? That was the most. They don't even give you like pretzels no more. They give you this really shit kind of like trail mix. I don't even know, like Chex Mix, but it's even like
how many people don't like pretzels though? I mean, that's like such a common enough food where even if you don't love them, you could eat them. Trail mix, more variety of stuff. You probably don't like raisins in there, probably.
Well, I say trail mix, but it's more like Chex Mix. But you know those little bagel crisps that nobody really eats in the Chex Mix, and they got the wheat ones and the other ones, and you just kind of chunk them. That's all it was, and it had like one cheap cheese nip in it, but it was and they don't give you soda anymore. It's like water and Chex Mix. It's like,
yeah,
it was, and you're like elbow to elbow with it. It sucks.
I go high class. You give me soda and pretzels. You don't give me trail mix and water. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to fly so much for my refereeing job that I was like full on status. So I was sitting in economy plus at the bare minimum every time, where they give you free alcohol. So
nice.
Once or a couple of times I got that first class bump. That was like, once I experienced a proper, full meal in first class, I had a moment of reckoning of like, Jessi, you can never take a first class flight internationally. This was domestic. You can't do this internationally until you're prepared to shell out for first class every single time you fly internationally from now on, because this will ruin you. You will never go back to coach after this bullshit, to praying that you have an extra couple of seats next to you so you can actually stretch out and get some shut-eye. Fuck that.
Mm-hmm. I've never got to fly first class. I've always been back in coach, back fighting people for elbow room, and the old guy's taking off his shoes and clipping it, and you're looking over like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? So
you're like, are you taking hints from Gwyneth Paltrow? Put those back.
Oh,
right? Oh, yeah. The flying sucks now. I used to love it when I was a kid, but yeah, flying sucks now.
Exactly. We need to come up with those teleporters. Just avoid the flights altogether.
Yeah, the Jetsons really lied to us. I was really expecting to have like a robot named Rosie and being able to teleport and shit. I didn't get none of that.
You got a Roomba.
I ain't got no Roomba.
Does that count as it can vacuum the floor, kind of.
You know how long that would survive in my house with my kids and cats? There ain't no way that damn thing would be broke within a day.
It'd at least be kicked or stepped on.
They would try to ride it. I had no doubt they would try to ride it.
Go forward. It's going less than. This is boring. No.
Most of my cats would be scared of a Roomba. Pretty sure. One might eventually become brave enough to ride it, but most would regard it as the devil and try to murder it at every opportunity.
Exactly.
Seriously.
Sees mad squirrel perform a crazy druidic ritual to transform the rookie critic into a cute, fuzzy squirrel with movie symbols on his fur. I have no idea what this means, Ancient One. You've confused me.
I don't either, but I like it.
I'm here. I'm here for it. I'm on board.
Implying you're gonna perform a ritual. You're a witch, and you're gonna turn me into a squirrel.
Well,
it was fun in The Sword and the Stone. That was a great Disney movie.
That was such a good one, right?
That was one that
he just wanted his munchies and crunchies. That's all he wanted. Just give him his munchies and crunchies. What's the problem? I love that movie. It's so cute.
Of course.
I'm a fan of the old classics. I really am.
Yeah, Justin says it's too long, too far away.
You can't trust nothing Justin says because he doesn't like mustard.
I'm kind of on his team with that. I'm not a big fan of mustard either.
What?
But I'm picky though. I'm pickier than you.
What do you put on a corn dog? When you get a corn dog, what do you put on it?
Okay, one, I don't really eat corn dogs.
What do you put on a soft pretzel?
Yeah, what do you put on a soft pretzel?
I've never had a soft pretzel.
What the hell?
The big old theme park ones? No, I don't know. I don't even know where do you I don't even know.
That saddens me. You need to have a soft pretzel. They're amazing.
One day I'm gonna take you to Philly and we're gonna go to the Philly Pretzel Factory. You will understand what my childhood was like growing up having shit like that as snacks brought into Sunday Hebrew school every Sunday. So we do the figure 8 style down in Philly. That's our thing. Instead of the big ones you're used to seeing, it's like narrow figure 8 that they put them out in a sheet. You pull them apart. You have a nice, beautiful, soft, moist, delicious, salty pretzel. You have to have. I don't even like spicy things. I can't do any kind of pepper spice, spicy mustard, all about that shit. Nice yellow or spicy mustard all over that bitch. And it's it's like nothing else.
Yeah, I imagine people's drink, because when I tell people things I haven't done or haven't seen or haven't had, they go they do the double take of what? So yeah, I imagine that's some of it. I'm gonna be trying another drink soon because I haven't really drinking since last year, to be honest. I don't drink alcohol often, but people suggested a Crown Royal of some kind. What do you guys think? I'll need some drink suggestions. Birthday's around the corner.
Try some of the Crown, one of the flavored Crown Royal ones. They do a really good maple one and an apple one. It's, especially as you don't drink a lot, it will smooth the bite of the whiskey, but it also, unlike a lot of other flavored beverages, the flavored Crown Royals are still good quality. They're not sweet and junky and whatever. They taste really, really nice. So that I would suggest something like that. The maple one's a nice, warm, wintry beverage.
Yeah, I heard of that one. Mandy's face kind of cringed when I said Crown Royal.
I don't like whiskey. I like the sweet drinks. So like
And-
well, I don't even like margaritas. They're not sweet enough, but like daiquiris and
Metropolitans.
yes. I don't drink a lot though. I think the last time I drank was at my wedding in 2007. So I think was the last time I actually drank. I don't drink.
Wow, I drink more than you now. Wow.
Damn.
Didn't think I'd get that day.
I drank a lot before I turned 21. As soon as I turned 21, it became not fun anymore, and then I kind of I quit doing it because it wasn't fun.
Yeah,
So
I could never. Beer was always my biggest enemy. Like I would try it, and every time, like if my buddies was like, "Oh, bro, get a beer, bro. Let's get drunk." And it's like, okay, man, it's just. I like things that taste good, all right? And I'm already picky, I guess. So I don't know. Every time, okay, try Cool Moon. Okay, no. Try Bud Light. No. Try Bud Light Lime. Even worse. Try Coors. No. Somebody for beer pong, they had Pabst Blue Ribbon in them. And I did not know that. And that was nasty.
So here's what you need to do, Rookie. Since the flavor, is a thing, especially if you're going to be trying whiskey, get the Apple Crown Royal. And then get a sour mix. So look for just something that says sour mix, but look for like one of the nicer ones, not one of the junkier ones. And if you wanted to, I could just tell you how to make your own sour mix. It's better. But the easiest way to do that, just do that, chill the sour, mix those two. You'll have a nice drink. Throw a little splash of grenadine in it to really punch it up. You'll have a beautiful fruity beverage with a nice bite of whiskey to give you a little like that hardwood flavor, a little bit of manly bite to it.
Yeah, I like whiskeys. I'm good with alcohol. It's just beer is just my main enemy. It's just like if people always go, "I'll get a beer," and I'm like, I could never have a beer and go, "Yum, this is what I like to drink." I'm always like,
I don't like beer.
Rather not.
I used to do keg stands in high school, and I liked doing the keg stands. But I'm not a big beer drinker. The one I used to like to do, Rookie, now this is with rum, not whiskey, but go to a Sonic, buy a blue coconut slush, the Route 66 ones, pour half that fucker out, fill it up with some Malibu rum, mix it up, and then walk around slurping on your drink all day.
See, you're gonna hate this. There's not a Sonic in my town.
Rookie, oh my gosh.
If there was, I don't think there is anymore.
You got to get out of there.
I think that's
you got to get out of there.
It was on the other side of town, and if it's still there, I doubt it. I doubt it's there.
Honestly, I grew up just outside of Philly, and the closest one, I drive 40 minutes to Bethlehem to get to it. So, yep.
Oh my gosh. Like on every block almost. It's like a Sonic, Bojangles, and a church. Sonic, Bojangles, church, and then throw a Walmart in, and then just keep going.
I don't even think I saw Bojangles until I moved to LA.
Really?
I didn't even know what it was until I saw it.
Bojangles. It sounds like the name of a pet. Hey, Bojangles.
It's a chicken, like a KFC. It's a chicken place. They're not as good as KFC to me, but they're.
I think
a lot
of them in airports. That's where I've also discovered a lot of regional fast food too.
Airports.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, sometimes though, I think that sometimes like New York food is overrated a little bit, just only because of some of the restaurants that move over here at least claim to be, their ingredients or their chain is from New York or something. We have like a Rally's Pizza. I don't know if that's a popular enough one or kind of more of a locally type of one. They have like over $20 for their pizza. That's like the size of a normal medium. It's got fancy plates. It's got like a bar and everything. It looks all fancy and great. Pizza tastes like dog shit. Like I'd rather get lunch pizza at high school than have that.
So you really can't judge New York pizza outside of New York because the reason being actually, and this was somebody went through that because this was a whole effing thing. This became a whole effing thing when with Philly, because why can't you make a good cheesesteak outside of Philly? What's the problem? One of the core issues with Philly is our water. Our water has a certain taste to it, and with bread, that's really, really critical. So if your water composition, the water composition in California, a lot of the states on the West Coast is very, very different than the water coming out of the faucet on the East Coast, and it fundamentally changes the quality of the bread. I had a friend worked at a pizza shop back in Philly, and he was explaining this to me too when he moved out here, that West Coast just can't do it right, even if they do it right because of that. It's still never going to be
because we have water, they have water, right?
Well,
they have water.
New York, I drink water, so I don't know what y'all drink. I drink water, so yeah. Oh,
Okay.
y'all can throw it.
When the accent comes out, it always comes water. Get some water. Cup of coffee, cup of water.
That sounded like my
The New
mom.
York one can suck it, but the Philly, and my Philly comes out anytime I get angry too. You always hear my Philly. My stupid, hey, Rocky.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Rocco. We all actually just talk like that when we're drunk or mad. It's
Got a $2 from Matt G, which Mandy, you can read this if you want, but I'll do one too, I suppose, since it is for me. Like, oh my gosh, Mandy, waffle fries. I had to double check. He said fries. I'm like, waffle fries. This is a sentence. All right. Your turn.
Boy, them Chick-fil-A waffle fries, I'm telling you, Matt, they are the bomb. You got to get some.
Wait,
they are so good.
Is that a real thing?
What? Chick-fil-A?
Waffle fries?
Waffle fries. Yeah, they're like crisscross.
Yeah, you don't know what waffle? They're.
Oh, I guess we might call them Chris
like
cut or something. We might call them something else.
They're like circular pizza fry, checkered pattern.
Yeah.
I think Burgerville has like crisscross fries of some kind. I have no idea.
Burgerville.
Like waffle fries.
If you go into supermarkets across America to the freezer section, you can find bags of these magical things called waffle fries, and they are delightful.
I'll have to check that on my week.
To curly fries, but lack that weird spongy section where the curly fry doesn't crisp, where it's turned up. They're in fact the opposite, that they're crispy on every side, on every part, and still retain that moistness from the thick bits where the lattice overlaps.
Mm-hmm. They're amazing.
I've never heard of such a thing.
Oh, they're so good. You would think that, wouldn't you, Robert? I can see where you would draw that conclusion that I would have a box of wine. I do not. I have more Red Bull than you can imagine. So much Red Bull. So much Red Bull.
We had box wine briefly because Cheez-Its, it doesn't seem to have lasted because it went on clearance pretty quickly, but Cheez-Its for a brief period was selling a $25 box that had Cheez-Its, box of wine, same box. You just buy it at the supermarket.
Smart, I guess. If they go together.
We bought two, so.
Yep, that works.
We loved it. It was great.
Do you get
Philly at the end of the day around 5, you go to the pretzel cart and get a big bag of pretzels for 25 cents. Yes. That was always the shit. Whenever at the end of the day with the pretzel carts, any of the pretzels, because they make them fresh every single day. So if you get them before closing, you get bags of pretzels for pennies on the dollar. Oh God, and just as fresh, just as delicious. They were just going to pitch them because they made them all fresh in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, the most out there thing I could think of that comes close is like I've had an elephant ear at a
like the plant,
it's like a big old cinnamon pancake kind of thing. It's like they have those at little theme parks.
Pastry thing.
I guess like a big old one. That's like the closest I can get to what I don't know type of thing.
That sounds good.
They're pretty good. They're just drowned in cinnamon and sugar, I think, to be honest. And we'd have them. We had a little theme park that would come every year, and it would be like they called it the Sausage Fest. It's just a little theme park set up, and families and everything go and hang out and go on the tilt-a-whirl on a little roller coaster and all those things. It's like it's by the elementary school and middle school kind of, and that's where you'd go. And yeah, elephant ears they'd always have. So yeah,
those sound good.
They don't have that anymore though. They canceled the Sausage Fest. Canceled.
No, you can't cancel the sausage.
Which I wonder if they thought of the name as a kid. Never came by as anything weird. As an adult, I'm like, hey, are we going? Is the Sausage Fest here this year? Oh, sounds kind of weird to say.
That's the thing you necessarily want to invite your friends to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's like, hey, it's the Sausage Fest. That would be by the school. That's like, okay.
Oh God! Oh
God! No. But yeah, so yeah, the key thing is I do need to try more stuff. That's for sure.
Yes,
I agree. I'm glad you watched the movie I sent you.
Yes,
I'm glad that you did check that out because I imagine that was a beautiful film.
Was it Dick Shark?
No, I wish it was Dick Sharp. I'm getting Dick Sharp.
I'd rather that probably would have been funny.
No, it was this weird Brie Larson movie that I found at Dollar Tree for $1, and I bought it and sent it to Rookie to review.
Which one?
It was the one where she saves the Indians, the Indian people of India or something.
The apparently racially insensitive one or something.
Yes.
I mean, kind of. I wouldn't even say it was really sensitive. It was like the thing with that movie is like I could tell that she can kind of almost act, but it's just so unentertaining with everything that's around. I'm just like, why are we watching this? What? Okay, and they start singing every 5 minutes, and I hate musicals as well. That was a double whammy on me that it was a musical too.
I didn't know it was a musical. I loved when you told me that it was. I snickered a little bit more about it.
The thing is, when I saw Room, I was very impressed with her. Obviously before anything else happened, I was very impressed with her. I thought, she was very deserving of the Oscar when she got it. I was happy for her. Because I thought, wow, it was a really knockout performance. Very impressive for someone of her age to get that depth. And I realized later, she's just really good at making that vaguely traumatized face. And so it did detract a little bit. I'd have to go to really be fair to it. I'd have to go back and watch it again, which I don't know if I'd want to. It's a downer, very, very down movie. Like she can only do garbage movies or really depressing ones, apparently. So.
Yeah, well, with this, it's like it's depressing, but she's smiling the whole time, and that's even worse because it's like she's all supposed to be upbeat. Oh, oopsie doo, kind of. I'm a scientist and nobody listens to me, but I'm gonna go and save the plants in India or something. And I think that was part of the plot. I actually don't remember honestly why she's over there. There's some dude, and he's like, "What's up?" And then they sing and dance and. I don't know. I don't remember the point. Honestly, I tuned out. I couldn't watch the full movie at some point. But they had by the ninth song dance number. I'm just like, I can't. I have a bad history with musicals, Jessi. Don't know if I told you that. I probably
have not. Did your brother get torn apart by apes because of your acting?
Oh no. It's. I think Mandy's probably heard this story a few times.
That was the plot to Team America World Police. So.
Okay. Yeah, no, with musicals. So I guess I never hated musicals growing up. Like, you listen to the ones from The Lion King or any of the animated ones. I always have a number or something. I can't wait to be king. I was like, yeah. The little Bigfoot, big water. All those ones. Like I was always singing along with those ones as a kid. But then it was like in middle school, and it was the year that Hancock came out. And we were on vacation, a family vacation. My mom and dad were divorced for a long time, yet they would still somehow we'd all do family vacations together. They put their crap aside, and do it, and whatever, bring us on a trip, and that's all good. And there was a break day. We were there for like a week, and it was a break day. And we're like, let's go watch a movie. And we're like, Hancock's out. Oh, shoot, let's go watch Hancock. Yeah, my mom and brother and I were like, yes, let's watch that. But my dad and sister, they had other plans. Mamma Mia was out as well. And so that's the one that we had to go see. Oh, man, my brain after that one. It's like being in a theater having to watch this, especially knowing there's a better movie I could be watching at the time. And I'm just like, God, this is so bad. They're like, oh no, look at this. And then saying it. It's like, oh.
That was how the movie Elf was ruined for me. It's very similar story. You had to go with the family to see the family movie that I wanted to see. There was like a couple action movies out that I really wanted to see, and it was like my birthday too, so I was very, very good.
Oh my gosh, I went and watched Elf like right around my birthday too, the year it came out.
Yeah.
When's your birthday?
November 26th.
I'm November 28th.
Really? How cool. Very cool.
Yep.
There's so many November birthdays.
You know why? There's actually scientifically, there are more November birthdays than any other, because roughly 9 months before November is Valentine's Day.
See, my mom had this saying, it's a little crude, but it's when the weather's hot and sticky, there's no time for Dunkin' Dicky, but when the frost is on the pumpkin, then it's time for Dicky Dunkin'. I don't know what the hell it means, but I swear that's what she used to say.
That's the other part of the science, though, is February is the coldest month. It is the month people are most likely to be holed up indoors and has categorically produced the most Offspring 9 months later. Oh,
That's funny.
yeah, Franklin says hi. Jeff says hi.
Take a break from staring at the wall and say hi.
He really does look like he's in a deep, like pondering state out the window. Like, should I or shouldn't I?
I wonder if he's contemplating deeply. Like, there could be somebody, a group of people narrating what they think he's thinking, what the meaning is. Is he examining the lights? Is he reflecting on himself and what he can change for his future? Is he thinking about what he's going to do tomorrow? What's going on in that head?
I'm just putting out there, if somebody wanted to make a Jeff Thinks Deep Thoughts video series where you started with one of mine and then just, muted it and zoomed in over on Jeff.
That's what I was thinking in my head.
That would be so damn funny.
I'm thinking of like an SNL one. They're like, I think it's called Deep Thoughts. Like Deep Thoughts text on the screen. And then they're like, Jim and Andy were playing by the bay and then they tripped and fell over. He learned he shouldn't have done that. That's like the end of it. It's like, okay.
It's not a squirrel. Oh no, it was a chipmunk.
Yes.
The wind is picking up. I wonder if I should close the window.
Yeah.
Hey, that guy I saw at the supermarket earlier was kind of funny looking.
Yeah.
That would be so good. Oh my God.
That'd be funny. Real quick, got a $10 super chat from buddy Abunas. By the way, congrats on 3 years on YouTube. He reached just a couple of days ago.
Congratulations. That is awesome.
Hell yeah, he had a big old celebration for it, a big old party, and I'm proud of the dude. He was one of the dudes that was coming out of the gate swinging hard and get put in Twitter jail like 12 times and everything with the beginning of the Last Jedi stuff. So one of the first line troopers around there. Good seeing you again, buddy. He says, even though I'm heading to bed, I got to send my utmost love and respect to you, my brother Rookie. Welcome back. So good to see you on YouTube. Rock on, because you talent speaks for itself. Love the ladies, too. Hearts.
Well, thank you, Abunas. You're a poet and a warrior. We love you.
Yes.
He was going to put I love the ladies, and then he's like, I should probably say something else about Rook real quick. So
well, I'm sure he was going to like, the bitches, what's up? I mean, he would never say that. He's too respectful of that. But, but that's Abu, though. As much as he loves the ladies, and we know how much he loves the ladies, he is too respectful not to acknowledge the man himself, the host of this stream, the reason we're here tonight.
He's such a sweetheart.
He really is.
He really is.
He's cool. I want him to be, even if he doesn't, I want him to almost not make YouTube videos on his own, but to be like he'll pop up on a video somewhere from some account, and he's like just turns around and he's the wise old man. It's like, I'll tell you guys a story, and just start with wisdom, start dropping wisdom of some kind. That's going to be, I'm Abu Nas, the president. And then boom, the music kicks up, and he's doing something.
I love it. Yes, that should happen. Yes. That needs
That's it. That would be tight. That would be tight. Mary says, I sent that super chat like 30 minutes ago. Wait, yeah, I read that. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't miss a super chat, did I?
I don't.
No, yeah, I read that one.
I think so. Apparently, Mary and Justin are fighting over me now, though.
Oh, right. No, I hated musicals. Yeah, Justin and I have a similarity there with that.
Not a big fan. I also like Hamilton. I don't get it. And the thing is, beyond I don't get it, I don't think it's good. I really don't think it's good. I think it's just another bullshit musical. It is not that great. It's whatever. You can love it if you want to. Good for fucking you. The songs are not that catchy. Case in point, that shit was everywhere for a hot minute. Rent was everywhere. I will never get 5,2,500 minutes out of my fucking head for as long as I live, because that shit was everywhere. Hamilton was even more obnoxiously everywhere. I was doing a lot of karaoke during that time, so I was hearing people effing thinking they're fucking Alexander Hamilton and fucking self at the karaoke bar every goddamn night. I couldn't tell you. I could recite a line. One, I'm not giving away my shot. That's a line from Hamilton. That's the only one I know. After months of having this shit played over and over, being inundated with this garbage, that is the only thing that stuck with me. Nothing else. Not another song line, word, moment, other than realizing as we progress through the second act that Alexander Hamilton is a womanizing piece of shit, and why should I care about him anyway? And it's really weird that this play is the social justice play of the moment when he's a womanizer. But yeah, I guess that's normal. Let's all praise the womanizing white guy from back in the day, because I'm sure he was such a bang-up guy. Meanwhile, we'll cancel literally everyone else. What the actual fuck do you people think? Are you even alive? No, you're not. So shut up and stop pretending that you have something to say or contribute, because you don't. You don't have anything meaningful to say because you don't understand history. Oh, we'll cancel every other founding father because they were near slaves. Well, guess what? Alexander Hamilton had a lot of friends who owned slaves. I don't know if he did himself or not, but he had friends who did. Doesn't that make him complicit in your intrinsic racist scheme? The whole problem with the social justice bullshit is it collapses in on itself with 5 seconds of examination. So no, don't spoon feed me Hamilton, because it's not very good. It doesn't make any fucking sense, and I don't give a shit how talented Lin-Manuel Miranda is. If I hear his name one more fucking time, I'm going to scream.
Oh my god! And Jeff didn't even flinch.
No, I was about to say.
He's just back there like I'm just wandering out the window.
That's what we'll take. So your passionate speech, and then Jeff's in the background with his thoughts. Cut from you, and this, and they said this, and then and then what's Jeff thinking? Okay, back to this.
I have a
That was
few.
brilliant.
It's been one of my favorite things when I've recorded videos on the road, if I'm with a friend, to have them, cameo as just the casual observer in the background. King Rob, one of my really great referee friends, had a great one where he was just sitting in the back reading a book and would look up occasionally, chuckled once. It was a good video. It did really well, but 50% of the comments were all about Rob and what was he doing in the background.
No, I agree with everything you just said. Everything you said, I agree with that.
Yeah, I had no idea Hamilton was. I don't know. All I heard was that people talked about it. That's all I knew about Hamilton. That's a lot of insight right there. The cat is now the cat show. All the attention on the cat. Which one's this one? This one.
Oh, this is Lando. This is Lando.
I can't tell the difference between any of your cats, to be honest. They look so
they're all black tuxedo cats, so I really don't blame you. It takes living with them. But yeah, this is Lando. Han is probably the most, who's the most camera shy? Han doesn't like to come down on my lap. Lando likes to be on my lap, but he does not like to be noticed. Once he realizes that there's a camera noticing him, if I try to pose him for the camera, see, he looks down. He'll look away.
No.
Won't look.
Don't look at me. Not ready for the stardom, no.
No.
Not yet.
Meanwhile, Pancake charges a $5 appearance fee, and but Jane will come sleep in my lap. He slept in my lap for half of the matriarchy. So.
Oh, naturally.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
That's funny.
Babies.
Yeah, my cat was. This was while I was gone tonight, but apparently was sucking on a blanket while asleep.
Aww.
Oh, that's so precious.
Tweaking the little whiskers.
I love the whisker twitches. Oh, Pancake gets such cute ones sometimes.
There's apparently a bunch of drool all over the blanket.
I love it. Ours all snore at points. It's adorable. Jane snores the worst. But this guy, he gets cold at night now. He comes under the blanket with me, and I sleep. I need something to cuddle, so I always have a stuffed animal or something under my arm. So when he comes in, I just swap it out. I put him under my arm, go back to sleep like this. The other morning, he was there for 2 hours. He got up because I, rolled over partially in my sleep, not remembering there was a cat under my arm, and he got very affronted and left.
Mm-hmm. Naturally. Well, that's when it's time to wake you up, right? So
yeah, unfortunately,
tell you when it's time.
3 a.m. is not my preferred wake up.
Yeah, but that's when they're up because they sleep all day. So time to play.
The sky's awake, so I'm awake.
Yes.
This kid is never awake, and he never plays. He just decides that the time that he wants love is 3 to 5 in the fucking morning.
No, and it's not I'll come to you and get love. You have to get out of bed and love me.
He's happy to come to me. He'll just drool in my eyelids.
My cat will stand by the door, meow, meow, or get in the hallway to where it's louder acoustics or something, and near the bathroom, and meow, meow. And so she's been doing I swear she's been practicing her meows because she used to meow normal, like a meow meow. Now she goes meow. It's what the hell is that for?
She's singing the song of her people.
Mm-hmm.
Lando appears. He does the same shit now. His meows are all over the place. They're like effing theatrics going on.
Yeah.
Like,
When
do
he
you have
wants-
a sore throat?
When he wants to come in bed, though, he drools. He gets. This is the thing. Apparently, I trained him to be a dog too well because he drools when he's excited. So,
I had a cat that did that. She would get up and like dig in my neck and drool in my hair, and it was so gross. I'd have to go wash my hair.
he wants to drool in my eyes, lick my eyelids, and drool in my ears.
Oh,
Those
God.
are favorite places to stick his wet ass nose and mouth when his little drooly self wants love at 3 a.m.
Ears would not be okay. Oh no!
Disgusting. When if I'm not awake, I don't catch it in time. I get a drop of liquid coming down to my ear canal in the middle of the night. It's terrible. Look at him; he's so proud of himself. Oh, he's like, no, touch
No,
Yeah,
not the
you put him in
camera.
front of the camera.
No, my cat cannot be lifted. If I instantly try to lift her, it's like abuse, child abuse. No, run, no.
That's
Like
fine.
it cannot just sit and be loved with it. No, it won't allow that. You'll be shredded.
That's Han. Han also, if you try to close the door, if he's in the bathroom with you, freaks out and starts meowing because he assumes you're going to torture him. Because the only time he gets shut in the bathroom typically are if he needs medication for something and he's being a brat about it, or if I need to brush him because he thinks brushing is murder. Or if I, on the rare occasion, need to bathe him because he has skin allergies. So every now and then I give him an oatmeal shampoo bath, which
Of course, the one that hates baths has to get bathed, right?
of course. And he despises it and cries and thinks he's being tortured.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bathrooms tend to be the area you drag them to do stuff. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Chimpanzee though can't get enough of the bathroom because we give him secret treats in there. Since he's the skinniest one, he gets all these extra treats to make sure. Since I have to moderate what I feed the other ones for the meals. So this little bitch now is entitled. But you go up to walk in the bathroom. He's sitting on the toilet seat by the time you get in there, just looking at you, looking at his chops, like, yep, it's time. If he's too hungry and you're not paying attention, he'll get down, he'll start nipping at your leg, like trying to gnaw on it, like, oh, just eat you instead. And he'll go eat his food, eat his meal, come right back in, more secret treats, go out, come back, more secret treats. Can I have some? I just want secret treats all the time. It's all I want. I just want secret treats forever. So we now it's gotten to the point now where dry food, they get wet food twice a day and dry food once. Pancake doesn't want to eat his dry food anymore. He just expects that I will give him an equal amount of secret treats instead.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That should be expensive. I ain't doing it.
Well-trained human.
Right.
They got it. My cat's a faucet cat. She will not drink water out of a bowl ever, and it has to be ones that are from. We have to keep a faucet just dripping all day, just a little bit, and she's okay with that. And because otherwise she would go into the bathroom and she'd either meow when we're not looking for her, but then if we're looking for her, she'll just sit in the dark of the bathroom and just not make a peep while we're looking around for her. And now we just keep it on. It's like now we're just gonna.
Have you? I went for a one of the water fountains because Lando likes faucets. He prefers drinking spout. Han is afraid of faucets. He does not like faucets. So I went with that one of those, that a really big one, so that Lando can drink from the spout, and there's plenty of room for Han to drink from the bowl, although Han is retarded. So he frequently he can't, after all these years, he can't figure out how to drink without sometimes getting water on his ear. So anytime, like, Shemeka had a surgery, he was in a cone for a while, so I had a still dish out for him. And I would do something like that, like put a dish.
He couldn't drink the water.
Han is like, yes, oh my God, it's safe water. It's not going to hurt me. This is the best day of my life. Let's go.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, my cat, if we got something like that, would not drink out of it. It has to be from the faucet as it is. Like it's the anything you get intentionally for them, they won't use. Like, so I got a cat bed at first, thought she'd use it. No, but then I had a blanket on one time, just put it on the floor, and she likes that. So now if I put a blanket anywhere, that's kind of where she'll end up being. So I'm like, okay, I can kind of now control, but now I can't buy anything. It can't be made for her blanket. It's got to be one that we would use to be something. You know, that's how it works.
Yeah, she only wants our stuff.
Yes.
Not our own stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, Justin wanted me to read this real quick. He said, when I officially met Jessi at this party, the straight part of me reacted naturally, but I realized she's as cool as me, and it was one of the best moments of my life.
Justin, you're so sweet. I had such a great time at that. So Justin and I met at Star Wars Celebration, but just as like, oh, he was there, kind of hanging out. He was there as like part of Jeremy's entourage, is where how it happened. So it's like, oh, we would see him and hang out and this and that, and then we found out he lived in LA, not far from us, and I was like, oh, I'll make a point to hang out with him every here and again, see what's up. So I invited him out to a Memorial Day party that my friend and I were co-hosting at his old place. And he came out. We had a blast. He kept up with us all night. That kid can drink, I will tell you. We were messed up at the end doing a live stream. It was an experience. So yeah, we were at that point on, we were pretty tight. So
that sounds like so much fun.
Blast. And then we went skydiving together, so that was totally fun.
Yeah, I remember that. That I wanted to actually have that be part of my project. Have a line where I'm talking to him or something. I'm like, "Hey, proper word. What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, nothing." I was like, something was going to be the conversation, and it's like, "Oh yeah," when he's like, "Yeah, I went skydiving." You went skydiving? Yeah, watch. And then cut back to the normal thing. It didn't make any sense to include it, but that would have been kind of funny. Just like, yeah, skydive, no big deal. Cut to him.
I'm about that life.
Yes, that's cool. I don't think I could do it. I like the idea of it, but man, I don't know. My body. I don't think my body would let me. Just be like, hey, you're on solid ground. Don't you let go.
So it was something I had wanted to do my entire life, and it was magical, and I loved every minute of it. But bungee jumping is a bigger rush. So.
Yeah, see, I'd probably do that. Yeah. I'd probably do that. What about you, Mandy? Would you jump out of a plane?
I tried to. I want to really, really bad. When I was in Hawaii, when I was about 13, I wanted to go, but my parents didn't go with me. I was visiting family in Hawaii. So, yeah, you had to have a legal guardian sign for you. And because she was not my legal guardian, I did not get to. But I really, really, really want to. And the first time I find somebody that is near me and crazy enough to do it, I'm doing it. I'm going. I just haven't. There's nobody that lives around me that's like, oh, I really want to jump out of a plane. I think I'm the only one. So.
Well, if you want to take a visit out here, I would be glad to go again.
Yay!
Anytime. Rookie, you'd be surprised though. Most people who have done both say, and I will agree, say that bungee jumping is scarier because when the plane is higher up and all this stuff. Actually, skydiving I think has better safety, has an overall better safety rating. Though that's largely because there's a lot of janky bungee jumping places. Skydiving, you're attached to somebody, it's tandem, so you have that security of a person. There's also this huge disconnect. You are thousands of feet in the air. There's a huge disconnect between, the fact that you're jumping into nothingness and that there's ground rushing up at you. There is no moment where ground is rushing up at you because you're just floating through the air above the earth, and then that ripcord gets pulled before you even have time to freak out, and then you are floating even more gently and luxuriously, secured by a parachute that feels very secure towards the ground. So that was great. I actually love both. Bungee jumping, you're on an apparatus, you're on a bridge, on a platform, on a thing. The ground is very discernible from where you're standing. And you are secured in a manner that feels much less solid. You have a harness wrapped around some part of your body. And you're just, there's no, at least, again, you're attached to somebody. They're giving you all this. We're going to walk out specifically here to this and that and do this then. Bungee jumping, all right, you're going to walk out to this ledge. We're going to count you down and you're going to fucking jump off a bridge.
Yeah, okay, when you put it like that, I kind of see what you mean. The comfort of having a professional on your back rather than, hey, I'm just going to have, this is good? Okay. Let me try. All right. Yeah, I can kind of see your point there.
And I've done it twice, and both times, I don't know about you, Jessi, but I was questioning these guys hooking up my equipment. I wasn't feeling 100% safe in their expertise and what they were doing. It's like,
could be the one day they're just like, oh, we're just hooking this up and whatever together. Okay, you're good to go. And it's like, because they do it all the time, especially if they do it all the time. At some point, when you do something consistently, you get a little relaxed until there's a problem. Then okay, now I have to focus. After they broke their leg, now we'll focus for a bit. Okay, fine.
There is a horrible stunts gone wrong story about a woman, a bungee jump instructor, who was doing a jump as part of a stunt for a movie, and she was just, maybe wrapped up with the camera and the set and whatever it was, and she just, thinking, oh, she knows everything and she does everything and she's good, forgot to secure the line before she jumped. And it's on camera for the stunt and whatnot. And apparently you can see her face when she realized, because there's a moment where she realizes she didn't secure it. And I've never saw that footage. It just sounds too horrible. But the cool thing is, though, with bungee jumping, that makes me feel better about it is, especially if you're over, unless they really, really fuck up, bungee jumping doesn't have that many fatalities. Your worst bet with bungee jumping is if the cord snaps when you're on the upswing. Other than that, the most likely, or if they don't do the tension right and it doesn't spring you up before you hit the ground. I'm not usually worried about those kinds of things, because I'm more likely to be lighter than whoever came before me than heavier, or at least somewhere in the middle. Yeah. But then when it comes to the cord snapping, a lot of those don't result in fatalities because it's snapped at the greatest moment of tension where you're actually closest to the ground and moving slowest. So the scariness of bungee jumping is offset by its relative safety and impeccable safety ratings by companies who've been doing it well vetted for a long time. So, but I will say, I jumped out of an airplane and happily screamed Leroy Jenkins like it was nothing. I jumped off of a bridge thinking I was going to just do a yeehaw like Lando, which turned into, oh shit, as my body went, you just killed yourself. And then that experience a few seconds later of not dying was the most life-affirming thing I have ever felt. So,
damn. Yeah. All right.
About
that. You kind of convinced me to, if I ever somehow choose to do one or the other, I choose skydiving over bungee jumping.
It's a life doubler.
It's good. Real quick, Mandy, you want to take this?
Yeah, Matt G for $2. Thank you so much, Love Bug. Oh my God, Mandy, comic skaters make comics, but not gates.
That's something to look into, Matt G. You could be the first gate maker of comics. You can make, big gates, metal gates, wood gates.
No.
Fire gates.
No. Okay, you don't understand. I've been a fencer for
Yes, he fenced.
I refuse to have the fucking construction puns follow me to another aspect of nerddom. No,
I didn't even think about that.
No,
Comic Skate needs to hire Jessi to be their fencer to put up the gates. Put up gates.
No, I will leave the street. I will leave right now.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. But our conversation did get me onto a movie trailer. I don't know if you guys saw it. You guys see any Robert De Niro movie trailers this year or last year? Called The Comeback Trail.
I feel like I heard about this, but I did not see the trailer.
Yeah, it's actually kind of like what you're just talking about with stunts. Somebody gets killed on a set making a movie, and it's actually
I swear I'm not lying.
Interesting.
I'm lying.
Can you hear the audio? Okay.
Yeah.
And I will have your money in full. I promise you.
He owes this guy some money, and he's gonna try to make a movie of some kind, like a quick movie.
You haven't painted the most
trying to make
portrait of our investor. All right, we've been in trouble before. We always find a way out. It's all over.
And
you need money.
I'm trying to talk a little bit while it's playing until it gets to the part. Here we go.
Excuse me, Mr. Pierce. I'm so sorry to bother you.
Supposed to be a famous actor, Tom Cruise, and he dies.
This scumbag can shoot a frame of film and he makes $5 million.
Yeah, he's like, he doesn't shoot anything and he makes $5 million
How would you have felt
somehow.
If had to show for it was a lousy insurance check?
And he's like, oh.
Look, I got a scam.
And so they're gonna try to get an actor to get killed on set, making a film.
Oh my God!
Now putting together a movie.
And
heavily insured a star who'll do his own
give me casting, dude.
Duke Montana? Yeah, that's Duke Montana. What are you doing, Duke Montana? Come on, Daily Game Russian Roulette.
Daily Game Russian Roulette. Yeah, it's got all this cast of people. It's freaking insane. And yeah, he's
perfect for this particular part.
he wants him to somehow die.
Yeah, but Duke is like
It's like the producers reimagined.
Yes.
This is great. And it's a great take on it. As I talked about earlier a little bit on Jeff's Craft stream, we talked about this a bit, how you don't reinvent the wheel. If an idea is good, it's fine. Something like this, I love, because it's like, all right, it's the producers, but you're changing the fundamental things that make the producers to make it something new and different in a vein that is fun and funny that we like. Like, I have no problems movies inspired by, riffed off of, clearly in the vein of, that's great. Bring something fun and new to the table. I'm on board.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to say this.
Rich.
Catches on fire.
If he were alive right now, I know he would be saying, "What's that damn horse there?" Duke, my God, you're alive.
He's like, crap, you're supposed to die, but he won't die. He keeps on doing these horrible stunts, and he's just coming out. I want to do the next one. Where's that freaking horse? Let me get on the next scene. And he's like,
that sounds great.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, I'm going to watch that.
Yeah, I'm hoping it comes out. I mean, it seems like it's fully shot for the most part. I think it was supposed to release last year. I actually have to check and see if it's anywhere. I haven't seen it, heard of it anywhere else. I hope it didn't just fade into the ether of movies, but that one seems pretty cool. So
it does. I can't imagine something with Robert De Niro is just going to go away entirely.
Yeah.
Well, it had that whole cast. It had Robert De Niro, Morgan Freeman. What's their face? What's his other face?
Yeah, all those faces, those peoples, them guys.
Yeah, the faces, the people.
Yeah, those dudes.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yep. Real quick, how much longer do I have you guys for? I don't know if you're still good to go for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I can hang out for a little bit longer.
Another 20 or so?
I can do another 20. Right. No problem.
Cool. That's good. I was gonna say, Jessi, what was that movie you suggested for me a while back? It was like the Peter Dinklage and
Living in Oblivion.
Living in Oblivion. Yeah, I didn't see the whole movie, but I did watch half of it, or at least that first section of it. I rented it on Amazon and didn't get to watch it the rest of the way. But yeah, I freaking love that first little half right there. It's all in black and white, and there's little things that are like, oh, the milk's it's like 2 days expired, whatever. Dude's drinking it. They're just going to their little indie film job, kind of. They go to their set. They got all their things all set up. Everybody's good. The actors are trying to get into their set, and they're doing their one shot. A little scene, and something goes wrong. Okay, something goes wrong. They're increasingly getting pissed. It seems so simple. It's just like a minute of screen just to fill, but camera guy freaks up, the boom guy messes up, something happens outside, and like, I thought all the noise was gone. No, I thought it was. No, it isn't. They are starting to record, and it's going great, but or the actors are doing it, but they're not recording because the camera guy has to puke from the milk he drank earlier with it in the coffee. It's just like, oh my God, he's going insane, and he's yelling at him, "Y'all can't get this freaking scene. What the fuck is wrong with you? You all suck. You suck. You suck." It's just like the building stress with that. I'm like, oh shit.
It's so frenetic. It's so wonderful. For those called Living in Oblivion, it's a movie about making a low budget movie, and it is brilliant for anyone who loves filmmaking and knows about filmmaking, especially anyone who's made a film. It doesn't have to have made a film. If you have gone together with your friends and tried to shoot a skit, you will relate to parts of this movie. You will relate to the frustrations of nothing working out and nothing going the way you expect it to and thinking the way it's going. And the best part about it is no matter where you're at on that journey or how much you've done, like, I'm excited to go back and rewatch it as I keep going, and you relate to different parts of it. You've had new experiences and you're like, oh, yep, check that. I feel like it's almost a checklist. Like, I'm going to go and see which boxes I check. One of the ones that tickled me. So this was such a brilliant thing. We were shown this at the end of my film acting intensive, which was paired with the filmmaking intensive, where we had come together to make a film. And so after we had done that and finished that, our very last screener as a class was that movie, right after we had just gone through that experience ourselves with all of the, there's a bit at the end that's like, my heart, my soul lives in that moment. But it's so fun. If you're into movies, if you're a movie junkie, Living in Oblivion is a must see.
Yeah, I agree. I want to see the rest of it at some point. The last part I saw was like when they're back to in color now, and they're trying to film their other scene, and the guy and the two actors have slept with each other, and they are trying to keep that secret from them. They're supposed to do some type of weird romantic scene, and it's just not working how they think it would, even if they like each other. It's like they can't act together on set with it, and it's like I wouldn't have really thought that to be an issue of any kind, but it seems like they just can't, and they just can't do whatever the director's saying. He's like, okay, just simply do this. I'll try now. I'm gonna look over here now. It's like, no, look at that way. You turned away from the camera. What are you doing? And it's like, man.
That shit happens too. Have you gotten to the dream sequence yet? I think that's in the second half, but
no, I think I only just saw the first half up to that point where they're shooting that scene, and at some point I'll pick it up the rest of the way. But
when they're
that's freaking good.
When they're shooting the dream sequence, it's just it's because that's the whole shtick of it. You'll see what you go on. It's like Peter Dinklage is just this weird like dwarf character that just pops out in the dream. It's like he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing there. No one knows what the fuck he's doing there. It's so fun. It's just so ridiculous.
It's the magical midget that comes out. It's just like, hey, I'm in the movie now.
Exactly.
What's up?
It's just this movie about people who don't know what the fuck they're doing.
I'm gonna have to watch this.
Yeah, living in Oblivion. Yes, that's a good one. I'd say
it's so relatable to any. And honestly, like you could take it. It's relatable to anyone who's ever tried to do like a startup project with a group of people. That just any kind of group project that you had was like pulling teeth, getting people together, whatever it is. It really has.
It made me want to work with people in real life, because that's the thing. I've been so far. My work has only been limited to telling people through YouTube, or to either in writing or in video, trying to explain what I want them to try to film. That's as close as to working with people as I've gotten, which is the best that I can do right now. But I wonder how different it is to be in person with people and have, if it's like a daily thing or a weekly thing we're trying to film, and whatever's going on in their lives, if they're somehow, I know they can perform, but they're just not doing it very well for some reason. How do I deal with it? How do I somehow get it? It's like, okay, we should get these 5 things done. Okay, at some point it's probably going to be, can we just get this one thing done solid today? Like, I feel like that's what it would turn into at some point.
When I had 2 all-night shoots for my horror short. Did I ever send that to you, Rookie? If you ever want to watch it,
you showed me your, I want to say your play one. I don't remember, where you did split screen. Your split screen one with each other. I don't think I saw your other one yet.
I'll kick it your way if you ever want to check it out. It's 25 minutes. It's a full horror short. Scored and everything. It's fun. I'm gonna do a screening of it on my channel sometime, just for shits and giggles. But it's it's great. It's so we're doing these 2 all-night shoots for it, and one of the weeks, the bulk of the shooting night, one of the actors had a really, really bad cold, and he just couldn't. So one, we didn't want to do too many. He was supposed to have some flirty stuff with one of the other characters. We didn't want to lean into that too much because we didn't want them close together. But then we also, he just couldn't really bring it up, to that like seeming interested, making it believable and whatnot. So we altered the way we shot it, which made it better, because then it changed. There's a whole, our conceit to get them away from the group is presumably, she's luring him away to bang, and he's going with her for that. But then because he wasn't believably into her, we had to figure out a reason that he would want to go with her. So then so when I edited it, I put the footage together of him seeing the ghost of his friend to make it look like, oh, yeah, he's agreeing to go with her to follow the ghost of his friend. Basically, long convoluted. It'll make more sense if you actually saw the movie. But having those kinds of pressures on set, one of those like, oh shit, this didn't go quite right.
Right.
My little, low budget production turned into, we had one of those moments of like, oh no, something didn't go right, but we turned it into something better, which is a fun moments to have. But it's a totally wrong when you are on set. It's really magical, and you get through a grueling day of shooting, or especially once you wrap, and there is this like sigh of relief, this we did it, but then this remorse of it being over, and like this dichotomy of holy shit, that was so much work, I never want to do that again, with oh my god, I can't wait to do that again.
Right. Or you got picked with some of the lines that you think should sound normal to say, but you just can't say them properly together or something. That happens a lot with people, I notice, even with myself. Sometimes I'll give myself a line to say somehow, and it's like, hey Rook, what are you doing? And it's like, okay, how can that character say that sounds like they'd say it, that's not like, hello, Rookie, how are you? hey, Rook, what up, man? Why do they always so emphasize? Okay, how do I take that down a bit? Make that not as, oh, whoop-a-doo. I don't want it to sound too crazy, too cartoony, which for my characters, I don't know. I made so many Jeff characters that I don't even know. That was that was harder than I thought. Also, in the Rookies Legends, there was just supposed to be one episode where there's a bunch of these Jeff characters. Now I kind of want that to be a big old part of my next project. But I was like, I could shoot the scene where they're all walking out of the closet portal in one day. I should just be able to one day get all that shot easily, no problem, and do their whole scene there. No,
you didn't think about how long it took to get in hair and makeup.
Well, in a way, like changing out of the clothes takes a little bit of time to even if it's just a shirt, a jacket, whatever this, and then you got to kind of set the camera up again, and then you got to do it. And whenever I do any of them, I do more than one take so that sometimes it doesn't look right. Sometimes it still is weird. Or if I look at the camera, sometimes I don't look at the camera usually, but sometimes my eyes will glance there for some reason. And I'm like, fuck, that was stupid. I got to do it again. It's like, by the time I got to like half my characters, I'm like, I'm getting kind of bored of this right now. It's just like, I'm like, why do I feel stressed? All I did was do a few things with like 5 or with like 10 characters. And I'm like, I got to do 10 more. I had 10 more of these.
Same shit like the first time you finish a live stream and you're like, all I did was talk for like an hour or two. Why am I so drained?
It's like feeling wiped out. I'm like, I didn't just run a marathon. If I were to be like, hey, I'm so exhausted today, what'd you do? Oh, I ran all day and did all these activities. What'd you do? Like filmed in my room. And
it's exhausting. It's a lot of mental work. It's a lot of work though. You don't realize how many bits and pieces go into a film. That's actually a really wonderful opportunity that I'm having coming up is going to be interviewing Richard Chu, who is a really, really talented editor. He did Star Wars, the original one, and that's Risky Business, among others. And I'm just by happenstance get to talk to him. And so we're going to be, he's an editor. He's been an editor for over 50 years. And, but so many people don't know his name. I mean, he's worked on some of the most notable pictures you've ever heard of, and people don't know his name. They've heard of the directors who directed these movies.
Yeah, I never heard of him, honestly. So I'll be interested to look at that interview when you do that.
And that's a big part of our thesis coming into this is opening people's eyes up to all of the different aspects that go into movie making, the parts you don't think about, the elements you don't consider. We're gonna have a whole bunch of gems. He's from the time I'd spoken to him in the past, he had already given me so many beautiful nuggets of just how much went into fixing Star Wars just from what they brought.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll be the first one to tell you Mark Hamill doesn't really bring it. He's fine, he's there, and it's a lot of the movie magic. It's a lot of the cutting around things that really make everyone shine the way that they do. And he'll also tell you Harrison Ford. I love hearing I love hearing him talk about it because I'm sure he'll do it when we interview as well. But he says everyone else was just a guy in a costume, and Harrison Ford just lit up the film strip. So
I imagine
it's so fun here. So I can't wait to start. When we get into our section about the '80s and in Risky Business, hearing what it's like to see, to be working with the footage of Tom Cruise in one of his big breakout roles. Like that, who becomes such a thing. It's such a treasure with someone like Richard, who has this wealth of experience and has so much birth to comment on the changes that have happened since he became a part of it. So I'm really can't wait to get to pick someone's brain. If you have any questions, and Mandy, if you guys think of anything, I'm soliciting questions from the audience. So hit me up if there's anything you'd like me to ask. We're going to put some Q&A, some audience Q&As in each video.
Yes, very cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, the thing about it, I mean, that's the one thing that I'm learning too. It's like with my approaches to all this is why I'm starting to get interested in things like this that I haven't been interested in before. Because trying to make the films myself, I have to write it, shoot it, get people their lines to say, and try to direct them to it, and then also edit it. And I'll say, editing can be the most fun and the pain in the ass
Oh,
of
it's
all
such
of
a
it.
it's such a
Like,
pain in the ass.
Some parts feel good to get it done, but then you're like, oh, you have, even if it's like 2 minutes, and there's just so much you got to edit in that thing to put music, sounds, effects, or the right lines or different takes to find which ones all work and line up right and everything. And it's just like, this is taking hours. Why is it taking hours to get this one thing down? I can't find the right sound that matches enough. I'm like, okay, this should sound good. Nope, that doesn't really fit there. Now I've got to find a different one. Okay, how can I make that work? If it's a special effect, if you want it to fit the actions that are just going with your hand motion, that's a lot of like timing. You have to play, move, play. Okay, does it match? Okay, move, play again. Okay, if it has too much on it, it'll like you'll press play, and then it might start. It's just like it goes, and I'm just like, oh my god. So that's why the tomato videos, the tomato wars that was supposed to be out forever ago, is taking me forever because the editing is just a bitch. I'm like, I don't want to anymore. I'm like, it's all filmed. I got all the lines from everybody, but man, the editing for it sucks. My computer goes slower every time I add something to it. Like,
why don't you outsource? Have you considered outsourcing your editing?
No, I mean, because part of it is I need to learn how to deal with it, which is partly why I learned a lot in this. When I was doing some of the stop motion stuff, I didn't know that because I did in my first episode, just the first scene was the only one with green screen behind it. Yeah. And when you have a video, you can just easily, you get out the video, you chroma key it, and it's out. But with pictures, you can't just select all the pictures and get away with the chroma key with the green screen. You have to individually select every single picture. So with stop motion, when you take over 1,000 pictures for a scene, you gotta chroma key every freaking one of those bitches, and then that's just the chroma key part. And then there's this one. I'm actually gonna pull it up right here because this scene took me the longest I've ever done. And the whole first scene of the first episode is just parodying Star Wars: The New Hope, pretty much. I'm just gonna play a small bit of that because that's like the bulk of my editing. It's insane. It kind of broke me. And go ahead.
The reason I suggested outsourcing is because you really don't need to know this stuff. That's the whole thing. People get stuck in this trap. Editing is one of those things that can be outsourced remotely from anywhere to anywhere. So if editing isn't your bent or your shtick, obviously it's good to know basic things and stuff, but there's no reason not to outsource 100% of your bigger editing projects. There's no reason, if editing is not the thing you want to do as a filmmaker, there's no reason to spend all this time grinding away at editing. If you want to go off and be a director, you will never need to know this shit. That's the beauty of it. It's up to you if you want to, if that's something you want to spend the time to do and learn. But it's the kind of thing with film. The thing I love about it, all of those different roles in it are so specific. I think it's important to know a little bit about it and understand how each one works. But at the end of the day, even if you're making your own stuff, you don't need to be an expert in everything. And sometimes it's important. Sometimes depending on what you want to do, you need to be a little bit. But it's better to focus more energy on certain elements and then look for, help in other ways.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's just, I guess right now I don't know how to explain enough about what I want it to look like in the final product. So as far as if I had an editor, I don't know how I'd really portray what I want him to do, I guess, my issue.
You also can put together the rough cut, here's the first. And so that's 1. 2, you have a script, right? Presumably at some point. You just send in the script. That's all you do. That's if your writing is there, and I've read your writing, you convey exactly what you want to convey with the words on the page. All you need to do is find the right editor, send them the words on the page and the stuff you've shot. Everything is there, and they'll be able to figure out the rest. It sounds like magic, and it kind of is, but it is how it happened.
I might look into it because I gotta tell you, if I could have an editor for my next project, that would save me loads of time and stress, so I can focus on the right. Because my main thing I want to master is improving my writing, because that's one thing that I learned with my last project and with the Rookie's Quest and everything. A lot of people love them, but I love them too, but only on the I don't know, on the writing aspect. There's not enough there. There's some there, sure, but a lot of the cameos were just random cameos. If I could incorporate them to have some more importance to it, or make it just a little bit more funny with whatever's going on with the story, make it all more connected, that'd be kind of better, I guess. Like Lord of the Rings is the best example. In Mahler's TFA critique part 3, in like the first 7 minutes, he talks about the scene where Elrond is giving Aragorn Underrail or whatever, an Arsil, or the shards in Arsil. It's Underrail, the new sword, and he's like, "There's like 10 things that is with this scene right here," and I'm trying to like master stuff like that, but that's probably above me also at the moment.
I mean, it's good to look at though. That's where you always want to look. Structured. Like I am working on a script right now. It's my first really ambitious full screenplay, and my goal is to get the gravitas of The Godfather with the fun and pacing of Goodfellas. That's pretty fucking ambitious for someone who is not a very confident screenwriter, but you got to aim high. And knowing that also lets me understand what my influences are, what to look at, where to draw inspiration from, and where to know where if I'm going right or wrong. If I show the script to somebody and I get back feedback that says, "Oh, it kind of feels a little like Goodfellas," great, I'm on the right track. So you don't have to be these people or emulate them, but having those inspirations and setting them high is exactly what you want to do, because you have to have the perspective and the realism of knowing you're not going to do that on your first shot, obviously, but aiming for that. To me personally, my process in filmmaking and most of my creation is having that goal, that end product, the thing I'd like to be and become, and trying to make every project that, and ultimately failing on all of them on the way, but failing up and learning a little more and getting a little closer. So the first one is so abysmally far, but it sets you on the path. Now you have two spots, you can connect them, and each one just builds that path. So I love, setting those high goals, looking for those big things, and holding myself to those standards, but not punishing myself when I don't meet them.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's what my other projects were. That's what they all are, honestly, is trying to do it, and I'm expecting to fail. See, that's the one thing. I wish that I'd have more critiquers in my comments, because they're usually better than Ryan Johnson. I'm like, that's not really a compliment by this point. It's like, yeah, of course it is, but like,
so here's two things. If you want my free advice, I don't like to necessarily give it. I like to say, like, here's advice. Let me see if I remember both of them now, because now I'm forgetting all of them. I was like, I had advice, and now it's gone. I gave you the editing piece already. Yeah. Oh, on that, it was one on that. So talk to people you already know with that. First of all, you might be surprised there'll be people out there willing to edit. 2, if you don't, there are avenues, and I can point you in the direction for sites. It's like casting sites, but for the crew, where you can find editors from anywhere, people who are willing to work for free at a high level because they just want to build their resume. So that's that thing. So definitely explore all those avenues. There is one. And 2 was, I was about the writing part. That was the next part, because we did the edit, had the thoughts about the writing. This is brain thoughts.
I love the way you do that.
You're catching them in the air.
Yes, like spider webbing out on all these things. That's awesome.
I had it. And critiques. Yes. When it comes to critiques, just solicit, bring your stuff to your friends, people with channels, and say, hey, review this and don't be nice, and
I might do that.
give people, because what you can do too is you can give people permission to be themselves, if as it were, and lean into caricatures so that they don't feel bad about critiquing you, but like, okay, lean into a caricature of yourself. Someone like Anna can be very she can tear things apart when she wants to. She's not going to do that to someone she likes, but if you set it up with her that she knows it's cool and whatnot, she'll lean into that for fun, and then it's maybe you do a shtick like that where you get a few people who are willing to do these reviews, and we all do these like really scathing reviews where we tell you exactly what's wrong with it, what you need to work on, this, that, and the other, and blah. And then you have put a video out after we've all poured ours out, and it's all of us together on a call, and you being like, hey, thanks for the feedback, guys. I'm really excited to go work on all this, and everything's cool. Stuff like that. So you can build it, into your shtick, into your thing, getting the feedback, you put it into your name as the rookie critic. You put the humble foot forward and invite that kind of humor. So you have a lot of opportunity to explore self-deprecation.
That's kind of what the point of it was. I wanted to put work out And then this was before I knew anybody, have people critique me. But then since I know everybody, nobody critiques me. And I'm like, no, but I still kind of want, there's like professionals-ish around. I'm like, you could say, hey, this is kind of a weird part that you had here or something. Just anything is good.
Yeah.
Something. So yeah, that's a good idea. I might have to set that up, especially if they get a chance to roast the rookie. Probably call that a segment or something. Roasting the rookie.
That would be great.
You have plenty of comedians in the community as well. I'd love to get on that, myself included. I mean, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You have plenty of opportunities to solicit that criticism. Oh, speaking of, just wondering about the inspiration for the shitting tomato part.
My mom actually presented. I was building a little set with it. Yeah, you watched the thing. I had a little Duplo thing, and I had a little tomato town. And see, my mom, she kind of likes the tomato stuff also that I've done. She thinks it's weird and interesting. I had her bedazzle the lid and make a little jewelry necklace around it for one of the characters. Had her make the little scarf and whatever little things for some of the character pieces. And she was like, hey, trying to think of items I could use. Hey, what about this coffee creamer thing? You can use that like a little toilet or something. I'm like, why would I need a toilet? And I was like, wait a second, give me that. Hold on. This will be fun. It's like I can make a scene.
I think moments like that, because you just had this great, you kind of lean in this, the whole segment is this little tomato guy walking around his tomato world and all the tomatoes being weird. I would love go back to revisit that and just cut it way, way down. So it's just like he's tootling by and there's just this crapping tomato and it's like, just chill. Like you don't even focus on it. He's just like, oh, hey, crapping tomato, whatever. The way he's just kind of like, oh, crapping tomato is cool.
That's one of my things that I've struggled with as I've learned is because at first everything I did was more of a quick thought. Don't think about it too much. Put it out there. Yeah. And now I think a lot about stuff and I think it's good for the writing. But then when it comes to comedy and the mixture, I struggle like with the shitting tomato. It's like, well, how long is it there? How much emphasis is maybe on it? What are we doing here? How long is this? I cut that short actually. It was supposed to be a good extra 10 seconds longer, but I was like, nah, that's too long.
There's like a weird sliding scale in comedy too, and it's very joke to joke dependent, and context is important. But like, there are some jokes where it's like, okay, it's not funny. It's not funny. Okay, now it's funny. Now it's really funny. Now it's not funny anymore. Yeah. Okay. Now it's funny again. Like,
and when I'm trying, I want to mix the comedy and drama like 50-50. Like if I can get those two, then I feel like it could be something good, but I don't know.
You ever see Blue Streak?
What was that?
Did you ever see Blue Streak?
No.
Martin Lawrence.
Is that the one where they hid a diamond or something and it ends up being a police station or something that they had to break? Okay, yes.
Blue Streak is a very impressive, perfect blend. It's Martin Lawrence and Luke Wilson. It's a very, very intelligent blend of comedy and drama. It takes nothing away from its serious moments, its serious plot point. This guy is really, fighting for his life at moments, but it's joke after it's a pure comedy in a sense too. Like you could look at it as a pure comedy and it works. You could look at it as a pure drama with a lot of funny moments and it works. It is a really smart movie for that kind of intersection. Other things I recommend are a lot of you find a lot of intersection in horror, but that's tricky because you don't really want parody horror. You want places where horror and
horror is hard for me to enjoy, I guess, because I don't know. There's so many different versions of it. The only horror one I can think of that I loved was The Thing.
Did you ever? Great movie. Did you ever see Tucker and Dale versus Evil?
I think I saw some of it. I think you recommended that one. I saw some of that one. That one's pretty funny so far. I'd say, it's got a good horror. The whole theme is about it being like they're these, hillbilly serial killers, but they're not. They're taken as ones, and it's pretty funny premise right there. I guess like what I look at is like Spider-Man: Homecoming, as far as like drama and comedy, they had like 70% comedy and 30% drama, and if they had a little less comedy, I think it would have been a lot better to let the dramatic moments linger for a sec. They just keep on stopping it way too quick. And I'm like, okay, I'm feeling it. Now you cut it now. Okay. Like
a great example I thought was of such intelligent joke. Two great examples actually from the same movie, Into the Spider-Verse. The intelligence of today for joke writing would have still had him splatting into a wall or a bus or something, Miles Morales, even at that end moment where he actualizes and now he's going to be Spider-Man, now he can do it. New sensibilities of the day would have splatted him right into a building for the laughs. Lord and Miller have really good comedic sensibilities, so they know when to back off. You know, they know, okay, this is our hero's moment. Yes, this is a comedy. We're not going to undercut his serious moment by pulling one of those. There's a great interview that one of them did. It was Chris Lord, or is it Chris Miller? Which one's the Chris? Whichever one Chris is.
I know what you mean. I know what you're referring to.
But he did another interview where he's talked about a specific joke where the Spider-Ham they're all sharing their tragedy, their story about why they became the people they are. And he was supposed to share one about his uncle who burned in a fire and make a joke about how he smelled delicious. And they kept that in through some of the later screeners, and it hit big in all the previews. People laughed their asses off at that, and they pulled the joke before the final run because they realized, as good of a joke as it is, it undercuts a very important moment for these characters, and it just doesn't work.
And that's kind of a weird, creepy sense of, wow, my dead uncle smelled great, tasty, yum. Like, you cannibal now? That's kind of...
So that's even like something like 21 Jump Street, another, that's them as well, right? Another great example of movies that, they actually have something to say, and they don't take away from the message. It's that one, I would look for movies like that, comedies with really heartwarming moments, for those ways through, because those are the ones that really let you know when to.
Oddly, Adam Sandler has at least a few of those. He's got horrible comedies, and then he's got some half ones, and then some good. Wow, you got some drama in your comedy that actually kind of works. Wow.
Oddly, because you're a baby. The rest of us grew up knowing that Adam Sandler first, going, Jack and Jill, the fuck were you doing, man? So we grew up with 50 First Dates, and I mean all the shit that came even way before that, Spanglish, et cetera. We are all very familiar with that family friendly chick flick era of Adam Sandler, who did the tugged at your heartstrings, made you laugh and made you cry. Oh yes, but yeah, 50 First Dates I think is probably like a primo example of a hysterically funny movie that could also make you cry if you're not careful.
Yeah. I bet. Yeah, I'll try to take that into consideration.
Anger Management is another favorite of classic, older Adam Sandler. I mean, we're not even going all the way back in his career.
He's got a lot of movies. I've seen a lot of them, but that's not even half of them that I've seen, I think. No. So
I don't even think I've seen half of them. But Anger Management is another great one for that.
Yeah, that one was pretty funny. With that. I wanted to show just the first little bit of my Tomato Wars for people that haven't seen it that are watching, and if you guys want to comment on them as well, feel free with it. I filmed the first scene all on green screen, tried to emulate A New Hope with tomatoes somehow. You can obviously see my hand or my glove.
My favorite thing with this right out the gate, though, is I love when projects acknowledge their quality. It is very difficult to watch somebody think that they have put together a masterpiece when it looks like this. It is very easy to have a conversation with somebody who is very aware of the limitations of their technology and leans into it and adds an element of camp to the story that reflects the quality that you're working with. I think it shows a really high level of intelligence as a filmmaker that we don't have that disconnect. You present your material we know what to expect, basically.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, if I can learn, I tried to play around with it, but I can't seem to get, when it's orange specifically, the green, there's always a green outline just gently around. I have not figured out how to get that out, but that's something I can worry about later. But it's not too noticeable, I guess, but if I can change the screen.
What editing software do you use?
I use Movavi.
Okay, I use Final Cut. It has a lining tool for green screen.
Yeah, I will at some point try to look into other editors, but I don't know. They take a while to learn new stuff. It's like that's the worst process.
The nice thing about Final Cut is that Apple really switched over to more user-friendly software when they rolled out 10, and it's as intuitive as iMovie, but it can do almost everything that, their older Final Cut 7 could do. So
Okay.
probably at this point more. So that is my endorsement if you're, comfortable with Apple products, which I am.
Yeah, we shall see. I haven't used Apple products, so I'm not sure.
Oh, no.
We shall see. Is that too loud?
A little bit.
Okay, sorry.
Just a hair.
Yeah. I that's another thing I need to work on is balancing the audio better, because there's some stuff that is really loud and some stuff that isn't. That's something that I would probably change going forward. Try to balance the audio.
Audio balancing is one of my least favorite parts of editing.
Oh, yeah.
This whole part too, as well. Like there's no special effect that I have that just shoots an automatic laser. So this is actually supposed to be coming out from the side, from the center. And I tried to have the chroma side to like animate it to kind of follow the gun, but it would never fully work because every time it shoots, there's no more base where the laser came from. So it's just like sloppily following it.
Wait till you hear Richard talk about using a grease pencil to mark on film where they were going to rotoscope the laser blasts into this shit. Oh God, it's incredible. Like how many struggles we still have, but then compared to what it used to be like, I couldn't imagine the old, cut and paste method.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have been able to be that dedicated. To be honest, I
would not have been
probably cutting for something else at that time.
I would never have edited if that was my only option.
Yeah, too much. Still too loud?
No, it's pretty much all right.
No, it's okay.
Okay. By the way, these were the only 2 ships that I have at all. So that's why they're the ones. No particular reason. They're just the only ships I have. So the orange one is a Cloud City one that was not in the movie.
I was like, that looks familiar, but not familiar. So I probably saw it, at points.
Yeah, I think it was going to be in the movie, but they're like, nah, they decided not to.
Actually,
I think they put it in a novel or a comic, probably.
Yeah, no, they did. Actually, no, I know that ship now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be one of the Cloud.
It ended up in a comic book somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, and with that whole thing, I'm using just green gloves with my green screen.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it looks really good. Until you pointed it out, I hadn't even noticed your gloved hand in that first shot. So
I'm surprised. I'm like, it's obvious. There's the dip in the wing or whatever.
You will realize the things that are obvious. There are so many things that are obvious only to you when it comes to this stuff.
Yeah.
First thing that I had to learn, it takes so long, is don't apologize, because you'll end up apologizing for shit people didn't even notice.
Oh no, see, I'm not really apologizing. I'm just acknowledging it, I guess, and I would assume
that's what I mean by apologize, though. Don't call out especially when you want feedback, right? It's hard. It's the hard thing to do because you're in that place of like, I want to acknowledge that I know that all these things and blah blah blah. But when you do that, what I had to learn the hard way is when you do that, the people you're talking to read it as very defensive. I have a very big problem of sounding overly defensive all of the time. And then they're less inclined to actually want to give you feedback because they feel like, oh, you already think you know it all. So that was a big one for me, was like and the thing is, a lot of times you want to sit and sort of acknowledge and like this, that, and blah, blah, and they're not even, most times too, like the first thing someone will say to you is, well, I guess you know these things. And they'll tell it to you like, well, of course you realize these things.
Right.
You're showing me your work. I can see you're not an idiot. I'm not going to. I think it's just that fear we get as creators of like, you're going to see these mistakes and assume I'm a moron. I get that constantly. When the reality is actually people are more focusing on the stuff we've done well than over focusing on the stuff we've done poorly. So it's very easy for them at the end to go, oh, wow, these things look amazing. Okay, here's a few things you could work on. But like for me, even watching this too, I am far more impressed by some of the things you're able to achieve than I am turned off or jarred by any of the mistakes or moments that you personally would like to fix.
No, thanks. I appreciate that. It's good feedback right there as well.
It's the truth.
Listen up, squad. The Larson Empire has decided to board our ship. They're after Princess Camilla. We are the last line of defense between them and her. Now, protect her at all.
That's a floss.
I love the way you can, and I also love how you can tell like which tomatoes have had other props at points because you see the little holes in them.
Little holes, yeah.
It's so fun.
I filmed, so like the thing that I had to do. This is why it was tough. This is why this project took so long to film, was because there's a lot of scenes that are supposed to be filmed outside, and it was really windy for like a full week for some reason, and then we had the fires in California and stuff, but there's smoke. It's coming all the way up here that we had horrible air quality, and it was all smoky and hazy out here too. And I was like, I couldn't do that for a while. So the tomatoes I had bought already, I had to toss some out, but there's still some that survived enough. I was like, I could still use them, and they had holes already and stuff. And next day, put a different shield in them or a different gun. And the Star Wars guns, of course, and and pizza tripod shields.
I always see those, and I always think, God, those have to be good for something. I use them in crafts as a kid all the time.
Oh yeah.
So they just seem like they should be used as a prop for something.
Mm-hmm.
They work wonders as shields. Though I did learn, I cut out, so they come as a tripod, and I broke off 2 of the things and stuck one in there. Though I didn't realize that if I wanted to have it facing up, I can't just have one in there; it'll just fall down. So I need to have 2 next time to balance it. But learning.
Is that clear?
Love the era.
This can't be good. I think we have a chance. We can win.
You really think so?
Yeah. I'm sure that if we try our best and shoot our weapons in the direction of the enemy, well, by golly, we just might be able to...
Stupid ad.
I gave you an ad on your own shit.
Stupid ad. I'm on my own channel. Okay.
pull off a...
This took forever to edit.
That was good, though. The door exploded. That was really good.
Thanks. This took forever.
When you have the budget for more tomatoes, you should definitely do a lot of splatters.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I should have had more splatters.
Oh, when you have when you have tomatoes to spare, like one like this, if you can, have tomato gore, that's the one thing I wanted from this scene that I didn't get. I wanted tomato gore.
Yeah, I think this was the very first scene that I filmed, and I think with my green screen and my table, I just didn't want to do that at the time.
You didn't want it on your stuff, yeah.
I do see what you mean, though, and I do have more tomato gore later, though. There's more gore along the way. I
wondered if you could take like saran wrap and just kind of lay it in a couple of strips all the way down your green screen, if it would show through but not splatter.
Maybe, though, there might be some reflective from the light.
It could do the reflective thing.
Yeah. But that is.
But I might try that, though. That's a good idea.
You also, for something like gore shots too, if you do insert shooting, you could get you could probably find like a plastic green cutting board, or even because chroma key you can use any bright bold color. Usually, you could probably find like a plastic big solid cutting board sheet that you could substitute for your stunt shots.
Yeah.
That could work. Yeah, there's a lot of options.
Yeah, I'll to look into that more. Yeah, what I learned too, this is why, in a way, I almost want to start over on my tomato things, because my biggest problem was the editing of the tomatoes, because when I was filming the whole first half of this, the majority of this was all filmed, when I realized in the editor that there's a way I can edit it where I can know how much time, like how many pictures are in a second. And because before I would individually crop a picture, I would cut it to about, however long I think it needs to be. And they would all kind of be slightly different times, but still kind of run. But then I learned how I can make them all the same time. And I'm like, wow, that saves me a gajillion amounts of time here. And I wish I learned that sooner, because when I'm filming, I could know exactly how many pictures to take, or at least roughly around the same amount of pictures to take to match the audio or to match whatever I'm doing in the scene, to know how many seconds that's going to be. When I filmed these, I had no idea how much seconds there would be, so I would linger or I'd cut it too short. And
Wouldn't it be faster, instead of even using green screen, wouldn't it be faster to shoot this over matte black? Since you're just taking stills, shoot it over matte black and then Photoshop all the backgrounds out, and then put them all, line them, and then basically you just have cutout images. You can superimpose them over any background. You can skip the green screen chroma key step entirely.
Because I didn't know about that as an option.
Yeah.
But
I would do.
I've heard that's something you can do. Yeah, if there's different colors, but would the matte black
Here's
interfere
what
with the guns? Like the guns, though, they're black too.
Do you have Photoshop?
Not Adobe. I have a photo editor, but it's not very good.
Okay, I mean, all you need is a program that is easy to isolate backgrounds, and I think you could use a pure white background. Pick any solid color. I mean, I don't just like the preview program on my computer. If you have a solid color, it's very easy to wipe it all out. So any solid color that's not one you use a lot of in your shooting, but just nothing special. You don't need any special technology, because the thing is, you're skipping green screen entirely then, and you're just cutting out the images like a PNG, lining them all up, and then, so it doesn't have to be green, it doesn't have to be black, it doesn't have to be any color in particular, just solid, so it's easy to cut out. And that's the kind of thing too, with a solid color, you don't even need, need to worry about it being that distinctly different from your other shades. If you have just a tool that cuts out it'll isolate the lines very easily if they're over a solid background.
Yeah, absolutely. Just go with white. Pink. You could do pink and still be able to do it. And I doubt there's a lot of pink in your movie. So
true.
that would cut out the entire chroma key aspect of it. And I think it would be easier, honestly.
Yeah, that sounds easier.
And then you also don't have to worry about,
messing up your...
Well, yeah, I was going to say, you should notice there's no stems. Well, this one was supposed to have a stem, I think. I think that one does. And when it's close enough, you can tell which ones were supposed to have stems, because they were filmed with stems, but the green screen took out the stems. Yeah. Yes. Little buggers there. I took the Wilhelm scream and high pitched it. Yeah. And then we got Captain Karen for Darth Vader, essentially. And it's funny, the music is actually upbeat music, kind of like for a hero's entrance. But it's
why does that tomato have an X on it?
He's dead.
Oh,
that was my homage to cartoons that have like the little X's when they get like Pokemon gets knocked out and they have X's on or something.
I love that.
Because I'm like, you would think it's alive if there wasn't a thing that told you it's dead, or maybe if I squished it like guts, probably would have been better.
Squishing. I'm into the guts part. If you didn't, what'd be fun is if you didn't though, if you only the dead tomatoes get a face, like get little X's over eyes and like a little tongue hanging out of the mouth. None of the live ones have faces, only the dead ones.
That would be pretty funny.
That would be funny.
Yeah, especially since that is kind of the thing. I don't ever want to add a face to my tomatoes or arms or legs. Like they have to have something attached and no face, just because it's like, I don't know. You get whatever personality they have is got to be it. Whatever weapons kind of identify them. And it just
Look, in life, we have no names, but in death, we do. And his name was Robert Paulson. Maybe tomatoes have faces in death, only in death.
Perhaps. We can always ask them, since they don't last very long, usually. Right here. Yeah, I'm just playing a slight bit more just to see. Somebody did point out an issue to me in these scenes here, but I won't say them because you told me.
Talk about like punching things up and like doing things like I always think how to give your villains more personality without lines. So when Captain Karen walks in, she walks by the dead tomato, she could stop for a minute and like kick it, just kick it out of the way, like, oh, get this. Like she didn't even give a crap that one of her own is dead. She just get it out of my face. There's little things like that where it's like a show don't tell moment of, oh, okay, we can. Like the first time we see Darth Vader, he's bursting in, it's terrifying. We cut away, we cut back, he's choking someone to death.
Right.
So little action moments to establish character, I think will be that like next level that you're looking for in your writing.
Yeah, which with tomatoes is harder to do than you'd think, though, It's like, would she say a line of dialogue like trash, or just do it and it's like, it's like, do I put a sound effect to know that it was intentional? Like there's
there's a lot of that is, I think, if you have one rolling away. And also, have you considered another thing that might be really, really fun for this? Have you considered live action moments sprinkled in? So
what do you mean?
You kind of did have one. I mean, you did already have one with the throwing the ship, So like that stuff, where you have a moment. So like something like that, you could do the still of her going up and like, get this trash out of my way or whatever, and kick it. And then you like awkwardly have a live shot of the tomato rolling away because you can't really stop.
You mean like video?
Huh?
Like when you say live action, you mean like video instead of picture?
Yeah, like she comes in and she knocks it, cut straight to like you're throwing it across the ground on a table or something in your house. It would be funny.
That is something I can do, and with the green with my glove or whatever, I can technically move it with in a way without it being on screen and be able to move it sometimes, which I do. I do utilize in some formats in the upcoming parts, especially when one of the tomatoes channels their inner Brie Larson to attack the invader and uses his superpowers.
Do you have that like clear twine?
Clear twine, no.
Get some, just like someone.
Justin suggested I get some green. Green twine of some kind, which I wanted to get, but I just couldn't find any. My mom always is a craft person, so she probably goes next time she goes to like Craft Warehouse or something. I'll see if she can find something.
Yeah, since you're also if you're cutting out too, solid is not really a big deal since you're cutting out the images anyway. It doesn't matter what color it is. If you're doing live, movement moments. A clear twine, like just the translucent ones. So, if you light it right, you can get them to disappear. Or if it's thin enough, also like thread, like there's super strong thread, but it's super thin.
Would fishing line work too?
Fishing line can work, yeah.
That's what I always go to in a pinch because you can find that shit.
Yeah, that's a perfect one because it's available everywhere. It's super thin. It's thinner than most twines, and it's very workable. So that's a great one. Or if you can find like the super strength threads are another great choice. But yeah, fishing line is a perfect one. I'm glad you thought of that.
Yeah, those are some good options for the future. Yeah, when I released the second part, that's like taking place entirely outside and get away from the green screen. And the whole rest of this Tomato Wars is a journey throughout my house in a way, coming up to different problems along the way. And like Chevron cars, Star Wars toys, apples, other problems, a human, different tomatoes that are different color tomatoes that literally painted different colors.
God, this is so
there's one called the Tominator that's painted silver and has a Boba Fett rocket launcher attached.
Nice.
With that. Yeah, and the Pokemon, of course, which is the whole driving force of this episode.
What the heck did you bring on board?
Oh, and what's funny, so Captain Karen is voiced by Miss Sarcastic Nerd.
Is it really?
Yes, and Princess Tamela is voiced by Teresa Martin, and I think there's a big age difference between them, and the older one's playing the younger innocent one, and the other one's playing the older vicious one, so that's kind of a funny voice thing there.
That was your editing for your dialogue editing is really tight. It doesn't. That's something that people struggle with a lot. It's like line, space, and even if the lines are delivered really well, which also kudos to you, by the way, because I don't know how much voice acting experience all of your various actors have had, but they all do a really, really good job. I mean, everyone sounds really natural, really fun. And then you cut it together so it sounds like people are talking to each other. That you have a good flow to it. That was
I attempted to try to give a better direction this time around for the voices and the lines. And on one of my first runs, people would sometimes edit it themselves and send it to me, and there's like no gap between the sounds, and I'm like, I can't clip the sound without it cutting off or something. So all the voices came out great on this one faux show. I did come up to another problem here when I was filming this, and in the editing.
Ferocious beast! How dare you make such a claim? We don't have beasts. That must be low, dirty friends of yours, princess.
And by the way, these sounds are by Riot Kitty, the Pokemon noises. I know she likes Pokemon. I was like, hey, just make some Pokemon noises.
By the Brie Larson, help us.
By the way, Brie Larson is like their god, so of course, by God, by Brie Larson, help us here. And they get chased, and this whole little set, the little Tomato City, yeah, that was a long one as well.
I was using Google Analytics.
Shut up, bitch.
No one cares.
Yeah, y'all got rid of Parlor. Fuck off. All right. Yeah, this was a bitch to edit, you guys. Like, I had to set all this up and set them all into position, and then every time I take a picture, I have to move them and then get out of the way, and then bend down and move them and then get out of the way, and that's a workout.
Oh, my.
It's a bitch. And again, I didn't know how long to do these, so I just did like 30, I think, and I could have done more or less, knowing how to edit it now, and could have been better, I suppose. But
yeah,
I think it's all right. I think it comes out okay-ish.
And the cool thing is as you keep doing them, they'll keep getting tighter and better. It'll be fun to go back and watch your progression.
Oh yeah, if you look at my older Tomato ones, there's no sense of plot. It's just all skit. But there's some comedy in it, but it's also like, why'd you make this? But it's some growth.
It's fun, though.
True. People liked my whole Game of Thrones, my Game of Tomatoes, where they had to face the Skywalkers, the White Walkers, and they're like undead zombies. But then they also don't come into any effect in the last episode. They're just dealt with, like in Game of Thrones. So.
No, it was great.
Yep. You guys like the music for it too, or is that a little too happy?
No, I like it.
Really into the music. I was really into it. Was funny. I was really into the use of mask too.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
I was like, what can I use to like a tissue? No, it doesn't hold dirt in enough. How can I can't make a little wheelbarrow. What do I just saw a mask. I'm like, yes.
For a dirt bath too.
Exactly. I mean, this is what tomatoes would need, right? They're going to transfer soil into the city. This is our Luke character, essentially, our Luke Skywalker here. He's doing his job, it's daily work.
Your parallels were very, you did a great job with your references. Like, you're paying homage to these characters and whatnot. Like, the parody work is really on point as well with the writing.
Thank you. I was hoping so. When I was filming this too, I kept on forgetting that they're spectators, and I'm like, oh man, should they be still or should they be moving? So just every now and then I have them move, and that's kind of a common thing with all my tomatoes, so it's consistent. So I'm like,
it's your style.
Cool. Yeah,
it's your style.
Just what they do. Sometimes they're moving, sometimes they aren't.
Yeah.
Hello there, Timothy.
Hello. Hey, you want to join the guys and I at the sprinklers? Not this time. Gotta work.
Yeah, some of my dialogue in here is a little cringy when I listen to
it. I love it. I think this all stuff works really, really well. This is where like that camp element comes into play, and it works because like you're going for a bizarre world where tomatoes do shit. And that little, like, I'm so tickled by that little bit of dialogue. Oh, you want to do this? Like, he's not going to serve. He's going to go hang with the sprinklers because he's a fucking tomato. And it just immediately brings up the imagery of tomatoes at the supermarket on the veggie shelf when the little sprinklers come on.
Exactly. No, I think this, for what this is, I think your dialogue is perfect. I think it would have been cringe if you had tried to make serious dialogue to go along with this insane world you created with these tomatoes. The fact that they are saying, I'm going to the sprinkler, and he's got a damn he's got a surfboard on him. No, I think it's great. I think it's awesome.
It's that blend of the familiar and unfamiliar. You have to give us something familiar to latch on to. The surfer dude, hey, you want to catch some waves, bro? Your weird world. It's the same thing Star Wars does for us. Hey, Luke's the boy. We all know what that looks like. Bizarre spaceship land. And that camp is our way in.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm glad. Okay, because in the future, I plan on making a bigger Tomato City. that's part of it. I'm like, man, I think I might actually try to build. I might get some wood, actually.
Get some Lincoln logs.
I thought about
those cheap ass Lincoln logs and make a little cabin.
I thought about that when I was getting the Duplos. I was gonna get Lincoln logs, but then I'm like, the price on those on Amazon anyway are way too much for as little as it gives you. So I'm like,
are they expensive now? I always consider those like cheap toys.
I don't know. It was like $40 on Amazon for a big old tin. $40. I don't know. I was like,
big one though. The big ones come with a lot of logs.
I suppose, but like when I looked at these, there's a lot of Duplos for each little piece of the house. So I have no idea with Lincoln logs how well that would work.
Lincoln logs are gonna be longer. So like you're building, you're gonna be building on a larger scale, but one that like scales better for tomatoes. You'll be able. You won't need as many small pieces because your structures will look different. If that's the question. Connex is another great one too, because Connex also has things like motorized bits and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I might do some of those too, but I think I might actually just buy some wood, just get some actual wood and build a little
actual building,
little fortress of some kind, and see if I can make a little deck out of it. Nothing too complex, but enough to work for a little tomato town or something. At least one big structure.
Right.
If I can. I might use a bird. I might use a birdhouse or something else, some type of thing, and cut out a little bigger hole for the tomatoes.
Check out places also like Joann's Fabrics, like craft store and stuff, or things like that. Because then also Balsa is a really great sculpting one for any non-load bearing. So if you do it right, you can do load bearing, but for like non-load bearing structures and stuff that you're not going to put a heavy tomato on, Balsa is really great and easy to work with for like quick structures to make easy sets that you can just paint up and they'll look good.
I mean, you can go consider what you use them for backgrounds.
Yeah.
Go and buy some of that air dry clay and just make you a house, let it dry, and then paint that shit. Now you got a little tomato house out of air dry clay. I mean, don't drop it or it's ruined, but kind of keep it together. That could work, and that crap's are really cheap.
And a Soul Assassin really wants you to build a tomato log cabin with Lincoln logs now.
He would enjoy that. Soul Assassin would enjoy some Lincoln logs.
Well, I'll see when I work on the next one. I'll put together a little Indiegogo or GoFundMe or something. And if I can get a little help with some materials, I'll build all this stuff.
That would be that's cool. You should absolutely do that. I mean, and then use some of that money to hire an editor. So
yeah,
that's
a good idea too.
And then you
hire an editor.
That's like such a mistake for filmmakers, I think, to get into, is this idea that you have to be able to do everything. And I feel like young filmmakers, I was the same way. You feel like you have to be able to do every part of it, because who knows if you can't. No, you don't. Yeah. Do the parts that you don't want to do passably and do the parts that you want to do really, really well. And that is all you need to be able to do until you get to the place where somebody else is doing the passable stuff for you.
Yeah, I thought since I'm kind of learning backwards by, I'm not going through all the steps of learning it. I'm kind of starting by trying to do everything that I should somewhat know how to do everything. But yeah, the more you're saying it, the more I can see your point on the editing part. But
I've spent years and years and years training to play music. Like I played music, took piano lessons for years and years and years, played classical, jazz, etc. Have played 4 different instruments, all that stuff. And I always thought I was functionally retarded on the guitar because I could never there were some steps I couldn't mentally break through and some certain things I couldn't do. And I always just had this judgment about myself as a guitar player, even to the point of listening to the song I just wrote and going, wow, Jessi, it's a good thing you have interesting strumming patterns and lyrics to back it up because you ain't shit. Your songs your chords and music are just boring, same whatever chords. And then I actually took a second to look at my song and let my music theory brain kick in, forgot for a second that I was the one who wrote this and could actually look at it objectively and realize that it actually has a tempo change and a key change between the chorus and the verse. It has structured bridge elements to take you between those jarring changes. It has a solo that is written, in one key, but leads you into the second key to get you out of it at the end. And there's a section written in 3/4 played over a 4/4 tempo. And in going and thinking about that, realizing I have the tools and the knowledge to understand this stuff. I have been selling myself short for so many years because I thought being good at guitar or a good musician meant these things. And I cut myself off from so much growth as a musician because I was stuck in an idea of that I wasn't good enough because I couldn't do it a certain way, that I had these ideas of how that people seem to think is the way it should have been done. And that is so dumb. And it's how so many creative people burn out thinking like you have to do all these things and do it the way that other people have done it and the way other people tell you to do it. And my, like, for anyone too, like my whole thing is where I'm as a creator now too, is that little voice in the back of your head when it says, like, there's the oppositional, you know, when someone critiques you or tries to give you advice or steer you in a certain direction and you're resistant. There's the party that wants to go, I know best. But if you get underneath that, we all have that little voice that digs its heels in and goes, no, this is the idea. I'm not going to change that. This is what it really is. And we all over time convince ourselves that that voice is the same voice as the obstinate dig your heels in one, because we just meet up with stronger personalities who want to tell us that it is, or tell us that they're right and we're wrong. And we internalize that and let us erode us down until we're just another cog in the machine being taught by somebody else, you know, and working under their shadow and blah. And that is like that voice, the one that tells you to dig your heels in when you know you're right, even if the world is screaming at you that you're wrong, is the most important voice to listen to about anything you do, your creative projects, your choices and your life choices. You can get all the advice in the world, but only you know what is right for you.
Right.
I rest my case.
I am going to be right back. I'm going to go grab a drink real quick.
Okay.
I'm at a Red Bull.
Okay, get another Red Bull refill. Yeah, that's a good point, Jessi. Yeah, the more you're talking about the editing thing, the more that makes sense to me. I suppose the way that I'm thinking about it, or the way that I wanted to like approach my next project, was that this would be the last time that I do something like this in this type of way, I guess, in my doing it myself way. Yeah. Because after this, I want to try to actually get some people from around town or something. Try to see if there's any people that are interested in trying to do something in person, or that, like I said, I can even have edit something. Though I can't have somebody. I could look for an editor here on YouTube. Yeah. That's easier to find that. Yeah, that'd be interesting. But I feel like I'd have to do something different to start them off with for editing, I guess, to have that trust. I don't know, because yeah, it's man, I'm not doing it. Like what you're just saying.
I mean, that's the way to do it. You get a softball project, your first test timeout, and also something like the first time you want to work with an editor, do the rough cut yourself. You know, line up the scenes yourself, have the linear. You know, here's kind of what I'm thinking, and be like, I set up the story the way I want it, and here's the timeline and all the extra footage. Yeah. And I just want to see, you know, how your style, how you finish this, what you do with it, to give me a sense of whether or not we're compatible. Jeff does this with the colorists for the comics and stuff. You know, he'll give artists test pages. It's not, I'm sure, you know, Mandy's the comics chick, who can speak to this stuff too, is, you know, it's not necessarily a matter of always even good or bad, but compatibility. Those relationships are really important. And so, yeah, figuring out when you do that, it is scary. It is terrifying to trust your precious work to somebody else, even if it's just as terrifying to try to do it yourself. And it's that, you know, it's just like any relationship. It takes time to build that trust, and you start small.
Yeah, that is something that I will need to work on, especially if I want to be one someday. It's the giving up a lot of my control, I guess, as far as what it, you know, doing it myself. Because that's kind of funny, because I started out by not knowing what to do about any of it, because there's no film schools anywhere near me. And I took the one film class I was at my college, and I was like, well, how do I do anything? I just started with the camera, made my own character, made a few more characters, started writing my own stuff more and more. And just made it my own kind of way and my own kind of style. And then now I work with so much more people now. Yeah. I gotta learn to, okay, I'll trust you to do this part.
The thing is, at the end of the day, film is a collaboration, and that can be the hardest.
That is, as a wannabe director, that'll probably be my biggest challenge. Will be to, share enough of the responsibility of it with others to be like, okay, you can do this part, and I'll check on it later, but you do it.
The crazy thing is as hard as it is to get to that step, and I can attest, once you do, and once you learn how to release that death grip, it's so much nicer to know that you're like, oh, I did my part. I'm no longer responsible for this. It's so much nicer. And then too, when you build, that real relationship to be like, then there's no concern because I'm not responsible for this. But if I get it back and it's not what I want, I have no problems going, hey, Editor Joe, can we change these things around and do those things? And it's growth and change and all this stuff is always messy and uncomfortable. And it's like relationships too. You're going to strike out sometimes. You're going to have some uncomfortable, we really don't work well together. And how do I tell this guy who really wants to do this project that like, I don't want to work with him because his quality really isn't here. And it's uncomfortable. It's a really ugly place to be in, to be like, you really want this and you really tried your best, but it's not good enough. And I don't know how to tell you that without breaking your spirit, but I also can't endorse your work on my project because it's my project.
Yeah.
These things are fucking difficult.
Yeah, Justin was telling me also that he was like, oh, so when you're directing other people's work, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, directing other people's work? I didn't even think about that, really. I was like, just make my own things. But he's like, no, if you want to, have, in a way, directing other people's stuff is better to climb up the ladder of, knowing people. And I'm like, that's kind of a good point, too. I didn't consider bringing somebody else's work to life, which can be interesting too. In a way, that's where a lot of our thought process start with. All of us kind of think of how we do something when we hear about a story.
A fun exercise in that is adaptation. Take something that you like that's never been adapted, adapt it into a film. Because then you'll get that experience of working with someone else's work without having to actually go out and find a real job doing it.
Right.
But you'll start to get that feeling of what it's like to honor someone else's vision while bringing your own to it. And that's the next step, is when you're as a director moving into a sphere where you don't have all that control. That's what filmmaking is learning how to, outside of the screenwriting process, because the buck stops with you or starts with you, is learning how to honor someone else's vision while adding your own to it. It is the only kind of collaboration that I'm comfortable with, because I don't like people and I don't trust them. But the thing I love about filmmaking is everyone has their jobs. And when everyone does their job, no one steps on anyone's toes. People look at me and think of me as a loud, domineering kind of personality. When I'm an actor on set, I ain't got shit to say. I do what you want me to do, what you tell me to. If you solicit my feedback or you act like you're open to it, you welcome it. Okay, maybe I have some, maybe I don't. Other than that, my job as an actor.
Yeah. As if I were to tell you how to act right now or for the next project, for example, I'd say, can you do a couple of takes the way that I want it? But if you want to try a few of your own takes as well, do them if you want, and I'll pick which ones I like.
And that's a great way to direct too, especially remotely, is here are the things that I want to see. And then also I want to see what you bring to the table. It's a perfect way to direct. It's a way a lot of auditions will do it too, is, okay, do it this way. Okay, now do it this way. Okay, now just do it however way you want. We want to see if you can do it.
Sometimes I think it takes people a few times to figure out how to do it also. Like when you just start, it's kind of awkward sometimes, or you don't know what to do. You kind of, or if you're playing a more serious kind of role, you got to get into the character. I remember when I did the National Sandwich Day skit, which is like one of my first bigger little skits when I started YouTube. I was like, I was supposed to be it was National Sandwich Day, so my Jeffro character, the Subway guy, he got powers on that day, and he's had enough of their shit, all the other Jeffs shit going on, so he's got powers, and he's like, he's like talking about the importance of Subway and how this is awesome, and I was like doing like a freaking Leonidas speech about Subway with this, like we had to let go of half a dozen incredible employees yesterday, and and every time we're trying to provide for the community and whatever, and every Subway is something that they can do. It's like super intense. It's supposed to be funny with how dramatic he's being about Subway. It's like, I had to do that like 6 times or at least to get it good. Then I still did it another 10 times just to really get it, because sometimes my audio was too loud and echoed and it was horrible. Other times I wasn't, I looked into the camera slightly and I'm supposed to be looking right behind the camera at where the character is supposed to be when I cut. And it was like, yeah, it was kind of fun.
That's I would say that's actually one of my favorite ways to find my way into like throwing the line away or making it sound more natural or just better, is going ham, like going 110%, going full throttle, leaning into it 1,000%, and then just dialing it back and just trying to do it regular after going.
I was trying to get some watery eyes by the end, like so when you get closer to the camera, you can see the intensity of the, the eyes, and I'm like, it's a sandwich skit.
Did you know that I can cry on command, by the way?
Did I what?
Did you know that I can cry on command?
No, but that's an interesting skill.
Do you want to know?
I can as well.
Do you want to know my secret?
I was going to make a joke, but I can't think of one. Go ahead.
Talking through the end of Homeward Bound.
Oh, yeah.
I can do it right now.
Shadow.
It's a good movie.
Dude, seriously, I can't even die without it. But anytime I want to like get the waterworks rocking and rolling for something, I'll just get into this whole scene. I I'm so prepped. I'm like so like I'm starting to like prepped for it already. Where they're crossing the train tracks and they fall in the hole, and Shadow, after this entire journey where Chance just wants the second chance, Shadow's the one who wants to give up on all of this stuff. And just the whole part where he's like, I'm not going to let you. And they cut away, not letting you know what's going to happen. And they go back to the home and the kids are all waiting and the animals come running over the hill. And you get to, and then he doesn't think Shadow's going to make it. He comes living over the hill. And back to his boy. Fucking kills me. Every time. And that's like, and then it's off and then it's done. And I always use that one because tears are fine, but when I get to that moment, I'm full on crying. I'm bawling because I can't even fucking talk to this moment without there. And I can hold on to that if I want to and stay in the ball of it. Or then, okay, the scene's over. I'm done. I don't need to be crying anymore. We're cool.
I just use it to get what I want from my husband.
Oh,
well, won't you? Not getting this hurts me. Why would you want to hurt me? I imagine
it works. Why are you upset because I spent that $30? I had no idea that you didn't want me to spend that. Why are you mad at me? Why are you yelling at me? What did I do?
Do you do the little the stiff lip with the little quiver?
I do the quiver. I do the puppy eyes. And if I think really hard, like I can think about side shit and I will get watery eyed and then it's just, and yeah, it gets me out of a lot of trouble. Lot of trouble because he don't want to yell at me while I'm crying. But I'm always doing shit that I shouldn't do. So it works out.
Good circle. Yep.
It's a vicious circle, but it works.
But hey, you know what? It's all built on love.
True.
Exactly. So I would do it now, but I've got on liquid mascara, and if
I forgot mine.
Liquid eyeliner, I'm gonna have black running down my cheeks, and
I forgot that mine isn't waterproof, so I'm smearing a little bit.
Right.
Camera ready. Real quick, a $5 super sticker from Menace Productions. Thanks, brother. Appreciate that. I hope you guys are enjoying this again, man. We went to a lot of topics today. I wrote down things that we never got to, which I'm glad because they would have just not been anything. So,
I
like that.
And that was a Keep It Up pair from Pumping Some Iron from Madness. I checked I always like to see what the super stickers are.
Oh, yeah, what the super sticker was. Yeah, at some point they'll probably get it so where you can see it on here.
That's the only thing they're missing, in my opinion. Like, they made it to where I can use my green screen with it. Now I don't have to go through, OBS I was having to use and then run through StreamYard and Google Hangouts. And it really made my internet kind of crunchy. Well, what my internet? It was just the CPUs my computer was using, but I was crunching. Now I don't, works out well. You can't even tell that I have a green screen. So
it's just like you're hanging out in your room.
Yep.
Looks damn good. It really does. I wouldn't have known if you hadn't said anything.
Well, thank you.
Honestly.
Yeah, and the lighting's not too bright on you either.
No.
No, thank goodness too, because I had one that was it was blinding. So yeah, I feel you.
You should get yourself like a green cup. And just drink. So it's in your green screen. So, Just be like you're drinking just nothing. You're like, what?
Yes, yeah. Well, I do that a lot with like Mountain Dew and stuff. I happen to have a Sunkist tonight, but usually if I have a Mountain Dew, it looks really funky when I'm drinking it. It looks really weird.
Yeah, SpongeBob drinking water underwater, pretty much comes to mind right there.
Yeah.
Real quick, Steven, what does that say? Saucedo? Saucedo, old school film and gaming, says start with tomatoes, then work your way up to full-scale battles with thousands of people. Basically, Rookie, you can work your way up to be a master filmmaker, man. Something you can be proud of. Yeah, that's my goal.
I had the revelation of, I always thought of a movie as this big, gigantic thing. How could I ever make a whole movie? And then in college, I shot a scene that I had written that was in my mind, was sort of, it contained short, but in my mind, okay, it was really a scene that would be part of a larger story. And I had the revelation that a movie is just a whole bunch more of these scenes. I did one of these. The rest of the movie is just a whole bunch more of these in a row, lined up in the order that makes sense. And if I can do one of these, I can make a movie.
Each scene is a mini movie, technically.
Exactly. And that was such a mind-blowing paradigm shift for me of looking at something and going, how could I ever even think about tackling something like that on my own, to going, oh wait, I can do this. It was like amazing. Yeah. So that's great advice, Steven Saucedo, for anybody.
Which, by the way, I'm glad that I just used tomatoes, because I looked at some of the old claymation stuff that people do. Jesus, oh my God! Like, there's one going on Twitter where this dude's just making this one guy turn from like a clay man into like a werewolf clay, and it's just like, you know, thousands of pictures, little tiny holes poking into it. It's like, you know, it's super quick. It must have taken all day, if not days. I don't even know. In a little studio, a little dark room, a little light, and just, you know, boom, 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 doing it to transform and make it look all different. And I'm like, damn, that, like, and to make it stay, when you have an object that is movable around and has different weight on top, like, that's easy to knock over, I feel. Like, I don't know, I tried to use the Star Wars toys to balance sometimes, and some of the stuff for stop motion, and man, they suck at standing up. So I don't know, the little footers. Some of them do, like the Jar Jar. He's got like a little robe thing, and his feet are all weird and flat. So yeah, he stands up just fine. But like Darth Vader and stuff, they don't stand up very well at all. No, or some of them have like a weird foot thing.
Yep, wants to cock up, and you're like, why? This makes no sense. You wobble.
Yeah, like Boba Fett and Luke have a couple of those have like weird feet. I'm like, why is your feet weird like that? And like Leia, the prisoner of Leia, or like the one on A New Hope, when she's in the cell block or whatever, that one, her knees are like bent out and in. And I'm like, I don't know if we messed up the toy when we were younger and it's like that, or that's how it came, because I don't know.
I wonder if you couldn't use, okay, like my little boy has these Mr. Potato Heads, and he has like Darth Tater, and like there's Star Wars themes, and he's got like a bunch of them. I wonder if you could use those pieces and shove it like
I do have
potato on it and have little feet.
We do have an old Mr. Potato Head game in the attic. So I mean, I thought about it too, but no, they don't get no feet. Tomatoes don't get feet.
They don't get the feet.
I was talking about like the action figures.
Right.
Odd. But yeah, the tomatoes are fine for the most part. They're easy enough. Some of them are a little wobbly for the most part, but they usually stand up good enough. And if not, I can find them in the store and just look at them. Okay, you guys gonna work? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
It was funny. There was a cashier that I went to the same place twice to get more tomatoes. I had to refill my stock. I ended up using just in total, I probably used like 200 tomatoes. Like,
oh my gosh!
It's because they rot, and when you poke holes in them and you try to use them again, they rot faster, essentially. So I had to keep on refilling the stock, and she was just like, kind of looked at me. She didn't say anything. She was like, "Okay, more tomatoes."
You are that weird guy now that comes in and buys. They're like, "Look, it's that fucking tomato guy again. What is he doing with all that?" You know they're doing it. I would if there was some guy that kept coming in buying all these tomatoes. I'd be like, "You're gonna turn orange soon."
Yeah, or it's like, are you using these to throw at people, or what are you doing?
What are you doing? Yeah, if they're like a play in town and you're just not a fan, what is going on with all these tomatoes? I would
You should look up a show called Joe Pera Talks with You. It's an Adult Swim show. I think it's on YouTube. It's called Joe Pera Talks with You, and it's charming and delightful. And it made me think of it because there's a moment where he is in the supermarket with a very strange, he actually has cans of tomato soup in his shopping cart. But also a cool one, Rookie, for you to check out, because it was an infomercial. It was one of the weird Adult Swim infomercials that they liked so much. They made this little series about it, but it's all filmed up in the Upper Peninsula in Michigan, and mostly just, locally done by these people. And I guess I'm sure, Adult Swim sends the money and supplements the crew and what have you. But it's a fun, weird, quirky, low budgety kind of thing that has kind of a lot of this oddball humor that, first of all, everyone should just go watch it because it will make you happy. It was just like a good, chill, quick little 10-minute episode show that will just make you feel good. And then also inspire you, because if Joe Parra can have a show, all of us can have a show.
True. Very true. I guess we can probably close out here pretty soon. It's been a good almost 3 hours we've been going.
I never screamed.
It's been a great conversation, though. I love this.
What was it, like an hour and a half ago? You were like, "Hey, could you guys hang out for 20 more minutes?" And it's been like,
yeah. I was waiting. I was like, "Are you guys going to be like, oh, come on, can we go?" It's like, no, you guys are in. You guys are into it. Okay, good. Okay.
It feels like you asked us that 20 minutes ago. So
it does.
It really does. So yes, it's been 20 minutes since you. It's perfect. The timing is perfect. It's weird though. I don't usually stream this long anymore. My streams all cut now, usually closer to 2. It is rare that I'm like, we're going forever. So
I usually plan on an hour and a half, and it never happens.
Of course, that's what I shoot for 90, and I'm like, we might end up anywhere between there and 4. So who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but real quick to end the tomato talk, I will at some point, because I've not seen Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, and I had no idea it was a cartoon as well.
I love
it. Oh my gosh, yes.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
They had a song. Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck?
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
I love that.
Can you answer me? Did the director make it thinking this is a good film, or this is a funny film?
No, it's intended. It actually is intended as a parody of the Birds.
Yeah, BC, that kind of disappointed me. I don't know. It didn't, just based on the trailer. I'm like, this is your parody?
No, it's good. It is a classic. It is the reason you know about it is because it was good enough. It's so crappily good that everybody knows about Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. You should watch it.
I'm gonna watch it, and I'm gonna have a couple of my tomato characters from Tomato Wars react to it as well, or something.
Yes!
See if I can get the people who voiced them to give some reactions.
Oh my god, absolutely!
The movie.
Yeah,
so great.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's long overdue since I watch it. Because I've only seen the trailer. Yeah, I'm surprised they had a song. It makes me want to try to come up with a better song. Because I don't know. I'm like, what, your parody level's fine, man. Let's see about that. I don't know.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes is a pretty epic and beloved song. So if you think you can top that, that's some ambitious shit. But I already said,
I'm more confident with the work than with the music. I guess we'll see. I saw it's big tomatoes chasing people. I'm like, I guess that's kind of funny. I don't know. Let's see.
Watch it. You will find a new love for it once you watch it and you see how crappily amazing it is.
The song has a kazoo solo. I mean, I don't remember the original version, but certainly the version for the cartoon has a kazoo solo in it.
Kazoo solo, yes it did. Oh my gosh, and it was great.
It was incredible.
It was great. Yeah.
So when you put a fucking kazoo solo on television, you want to throw shade at that parody game? By all means, be my guest. We are expecting great things from you, Rookie. You have set yourself a bar. I fully expect that you will exceed that bar, but I'm just letting you know you have set that bar very high.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate that. Which it makes me want to show you this other thing. If I can find it real quick. While I'm looking for that, I guess, because I'm looking for a picture. If you guys want to talk about anything or something you guys got coming up in the works?
Like I mentioned, I'm over on Live It, which is an awesome new site. So you got to download the app, and then you can follow me, m.e.godempress, and I'm singing my brains out on Mondays, doing whatever I feel like on Thursdays, and then having characters, music, and Jeff even does a character with me. I think I was showing you guys that earlier. on Fridays, like I mentioned. So definitely check us out. Check me out and Live It. Jeff and I are also over on Mindless BS Gaming, which we're working on more and more, and also looking for people to challenge us in Mario Kart and Smash Brothers. Mostly Mario Kart.
Which Mario Kart?
8.
Oh, okay, nice. I've not done that one quite yet.
It is newer to me. I was always 64 and then never played a lot of Mario Kart in between.
That's the one I have.
So it's 8. It has so many maps and is so different that it has been a long learning curve for me, but I'm finally getting my Mario Kart legs.
Yay.
Finally. But it was definitely an experience.
I imagine. All right, real quick. I almost have the thing real quick. I'm showing you a few of the tomatoes because it's gonna take forever to finally release these. I'm trying to find a couple of still shots to show you guys the insanity.
I'm about that life.
And I learned new stuff on like how to paint them. So I tried to use like house paint, and those do not really, they peel off. But then I tried spray paint. I thought spray paint wouldn't really last either, but it does. And I tried different colors and they work really well. So I'll have that in the future. But I'm trying to find a good shot here. When you have thousands of pictures, it's hard to find ones you actually kind of want, like that shows them in good lighting either. They're in the hallway. That's not dark. That's Mustache Tomato with these guys.
I do enjoy Mustache Tomato quite a bit.
I do enjoy a good mustache on a tomato.
It really spices things up a little, you know?
It does. It's like googly eyes on things.
First,
I love it.
Meet the Tominator.
I am so pleased to make his acquaintance.
I love him. It's great.
He is magical.
The Tominator.
He is
with the Boba Fett rocket launcher.
I'm so pleased.
Yes, and then a glimpse at the blue tomatoes.
Oh,
for the poor paint job.
That looks cool.
I literally put one on a napkin because it was leaking.
Oh.
It was getting on my rug. This was like really early in the morning, too. I was like 3 a.m. and I was just trying to finish out the scene. That was fun. And then I got this is like a Rancor, but it's a pumpkin.
Oh my god. Does the tomato get eaten? Because I want that.
Well, these guys get eaten.
Yes.
Before the tomatoes, they have to use their Brie Larson powers to overcome their challengers. They have to channel it.
Oh, did you guys see Brie Larson unboxed her 100,000 subscriber plaque because she totally earned it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, look at her go, girl. We're all so proud of you.
So proud of her.
Long, hard journey. What's funny with the tomatoes, I mean, by now I'm not even really making fun of her. That's just part of the lore of the tomatoes.
I love it.
The whole concept was from the when Rotten Tomatoes was being weird with the Captain Marvel stuff on their website, when they're pulling the want to see stuff, when they're hiding the low ratings and whatever, and just all this weird stuff. I was like, gosh, Rotten Tomatoes. So I made it like, oh, I'm going to destroy the tomatoes, and I was like, oh, the Fandom Menace is destroying them, and that was the whole concept at first. And then later it's like, do not ever insult our beautiful goddess Brie Larson, and then it was like, now in my Tomato Wars, it's like their society is normal about it, and there's the Larson Empire, there's the Tomato Alliance that doesn't believe in the Larson ways, but they're gonna learn. In a way, she gives them power. And I got some funny stuff in the future. I might do in the future, instead of these longer videos, I might just release like 2-minute little clips, but still have it be like a continuing story, and so I can release them a little quicker. And also, so I don't know, I feel like I like having them in episodes, but I don't know, it's gonna take forever to get them all done. So it's like,
I think people's attention for narratives, people's attention spans are on YouTube lend themselves to shorter 2 to 3 minutes for things in narrative show. For some reason, people have infinite. If you're sitting here talking, they'll hang out with us for all day long. If you're ranting, yelling, screaming, they'll hang out for 10, 20, 30 minutes, no problem. But you're trying to tell them a story and actually produce something, 3 minutes, and okay, I'm bored. I got other shit to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's insane.
Disproportionate to the amount of work put in, but cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
Do you have any shrines to Brie Larson that we get to see them like worshiping at, or all?
Not in this one, but there is something you'll get to see later that's pretty similar to it. Pretty close, anyway, of worship. Anyway, I show quite a bit of worship in them, and it's annoying because the Tomato Wars episode 1 has like 50 views, and then I made a video called "Please Don't Watch This," and I put a blank thumbnail over it. It was just a marker in my video library, and it was a short stop motion, less than 2 minutes, and it's just stupid. It's just Coke and Pepsi, and it's just really short, and it's stupid, but people love it.
Oh my gosh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I wasn't looking, and
They fall in love instantly.
You're Coke.
You're Pepsi.
You're pretty.
You're sugary.
You're sweet.
Oh, come here, you.
And then it's just like, and this has like 80 views.
I
why?
love it though. It's cute.
It's something. I don't know. And then the parents.
What the hell is that whore doing with my son?
Get your pathetic excuse for a soft drink the fuck away from my girl.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
And that's it, pretty much. It's just like, why does that have views?
The world may never know.
Because it's awesome. It's a great.
I suppose from one's perspective.
I've ceased to try to figure out why some things that I pour my heart and soul into and think are the greatest thing I've ever done fizzle out and die, while other things that I think are dog shit, it's sore. I have no idea.
Yeah. And real quick, just last one, and then I'll be letting you guys go in a sec. This one's even shorter and even dumber. I tried to go as dumb as possible to do this quickie, and this has views as well.
Excuse me.
Oh my God! What do you want, boy?
Misa want a big doo-doo battle.
Ha! A challenge, eh?
That's all the video is.
Okay, I have no idea why this would come views.
and it's just...
You're gonna regret it.
Ye gods! What are Misa saying?
Just like, no. But then I have Pokemon.
On the left, we have Belargus. And on the right, we have our returning fart battle champion.
I don't know why I did this.
Match.
I don't know. And fart humor always makes people laugh no matter what. So,
yeah, I guess.
Ha! Fool.
I don't know. I don't need to show anymore. But it's like those two got more views than my Tomato Wars episode 1, and I'm like, I didn't even put anything on the title or the thing to get you into it, and people watched it, commented. I'm like, what?
Crazy.
Yeah. But that's all good. Mandy, you're wrapping up your Super Dead stuff going on. You want to tell us about that or what you got coming up next?
Yeah, so Super Dead, I'm still working on fulfillment of that, but if you backed it, don't worry, it'll be there soon. And we have just opened up the mailing list for our new book, Work the Wizard 2, that will be going live on, I think, February the 1st. So be on the lookout for that one, you guys. And yeah, keeping the books coming, keeping them coming.
Oh, yeah, she's got big plans for this year, so watch out for next coming stuff. And her contrast is great with Work the Wizard, very cute little kid-friendly one, and then Super Dead, the complete opposite spectrum with that. Love that contrast.
Right, exactly. Oh, and Pirate Queen is still available, you guys. So if you have not went back to Pirate Queen, be sure to go do that because I will be closing down that campaign as soon as I'm done with the Super Dead fulfillment. We'll be closing down Pirate Queen so I can get those ordered and get those in you guys' hands as well.
Nice.
Exactly. Heck yeah. And Jessi, yeah, you got like a little film or an interview series coming up there too.
So yeah, huge deal. I will be interviewing Richard Chew, the Academy Award winning editor who edited Star Wars: The Conversation, The One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Risky Business, and others. We are planning a 4-part series following his entire career, starting with dropping out of law school to pursue documentary filmmaking, covering Woodstock way back in the day as a young man. And then him coming out to Hollywood in the 70s, working on these, Francis Ford Coppola was the first director he worked with on a major motion picture, moved on from that to Cuckoo's Nest to Star Wars, which gave him the Academy Award, set him up and so the whole second act is those movies in the 70s, working with these teams of incredible editors on these huge productions and what that meant for him in his career. And, obviously all the incredible changes happening during the 70s, throughout the 80s, where he was able to be his own man, and some of the missteps he made, as well as some of the choices, some of the more fun choices he was able to make. And then our fourth part is going to be very reflective of, how the industry has changed, how his career's changed, and a look forward as to what we think is going to come. So I still don't know how I managed to have this happen, but it's incredible. I'm so excited.
Killing it. It happens when you reach out. It happens when you reach out.
Yeah, exactly. You never know. Now we're chatting like we're old buddies, so it's blowing my mind.
How cool is that? That's awesome.
I'm just like, what do I like? I feel so weird talking about movies with him because I love it. It's so fun, but it's also, on the one hand, I'm like, well, I want to let you know that I'm part of your club and I know this shit. I'm not like one of the regular plebes who blah, blah, blah. But I also don't want you to think that I feel like I'm anywhere in your close.
Right. Oh yeah, I do the same thing on the comic side. Like when I talk to like Graham Nolan or Artie Bear or somebody like that, it's like, okay, or even John Malin. It's like, oh my God, you drew Cable, but no, you drew Cable though. So yeah, no, I'm exactly the same. I like fangirl out, and then you're trying not to. You're like, no, I'm not going to fangirl. No, but I'm really fangirling out over here because, like, holy shit, So, yeah.
Exactly. Hell yeah. Well, yeah, go check out both of them. They got their channels in the description below. Both kicking butt this year, off to a big start. As far as I can tell, one of the biggest starts around here with your 2 books already pretty much done, Mandy, and Jessi with your interview series going on. That's going to be freaking awesome. Catch her to go to your channel. People are going to, is that going to be, any time slot you're kind of looking for with that, or?
We're actually going to pre-record, so we're not going to do them live. We're going to pre-record them and drop them as videos. Like I said, that's why I'm soliciting questions from people. Anyone who has things burning they want to know. There was a Twitter thread for it and a YouTube thread for it. But then obviously, people I know personally who have direct lines, feel free to kick things my way. Before we record the segments, I'm going to sort the questions as to which ones they work the best with, and so we'll end each one with here's some questions from the audience, and get them right in that video as well.
Very cool. Okay, very cool.
Yeah. So exciting. We're gonna start shooting. Jeff and I just got a new router because our internet is garbage. Upgrade our internet and stuff. So once we get that all hooked up, we'll probably start shooting in the next couple of days. And I don't know when we'll be done. We'll have it out, and I'm obviously gonna take my time making sure it all is perfect, but that'll be by next month. I'm sure that'll be dropping.
Sweet, looking forward to it.
Can't wait to watch that. That's gonna be awesome.
So stoked.
Yep.
I hope you do the least amount of talking I've ever done in any of my videos. A lot of nodding.
Yep. Well, that's kind of the point, right? Set them up to not have them knock it down with their knowledge right there. So.
Right.
Oh yeah, and he's such a great storyteller too. So it's like I don't have to do anything.
Perfect. Well. All right. I think that about wraps it up. I realized, too, we never actually talked about Godzilla at all.
Oh, my God.
No, we didn't.
We went right around it. The only thing I was going to say real quick on that was it looks cool, but I think they show too much in the trailer. Again, like they showed a lot of the events and a lot of what they think's happening, and I'm kind of like, I don't know. I kind of would have wanted a little less just so I could be more intrigued to it. Like, it showed the axe thing, and then it blocks the atomic breath. I'm like, that's cool, but that'd be tight to like just see, because you go in going, how the hell's Kong gonna do anything? Then you go, oh shit, in the theater. With that would be kind of a cool moment. They said something's provoking Godzilla in the trailer, and I'm like, I mean, let that be for us to find out when we get there. Who's not gonna see this? Like,
that's a really good point. It's sort of redundant to like, why are you putting information in here? We're going to see the movie. If kind of what I said before, don't try so hard. If you're expecting us to see the movie because of a compelling plot, you've made the wrong movie.
Oh yeah.
Should have been a 30-second trailer.
Exactly. Roar, roar, hack, smash. Oh my God, what's going on?
Couple shots of people going, oh no, Godzilla! Ah! And then a couple shots of King Kong punching them or something, and that's all you need to show.
Pointed, over dramatic reactions from your stars, or one single line to categorize who they are. Monster, monster, roar, roar, roar. Bam, done.
Oh, Godzilla! And then that's it. And then just run away. That's.
Now that's a great point about the trailer, but I'm gonna see.
Yeah, still gonna be badass. Hoping that's that theater seat.
Me too. Me too.
I almost left the studio and almost left you guys.
Sit here live.
I almost did. My mouse was over the exit studio button, and I was like, "Wait a second, that's not the right button."
Also, by the way, Ancient One was celebrating your 51 likes now on the stream. So,
thank you, appreciate that. Hell yeah, thank you guys anyway for popping on in and watching. This is a 3 hours 18-minute live stream. It does not feel like 3 hours to be honest.
Not at all.
Really, wow,
that's good. Flowed. We flowed into so many conversations. We skipped over ones that we started.
That's par for the course for me. So,
real quick, $2 super chat right here. It says, "Just pop in, get some love for the stream ends." We'll appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Yakoze. Yakoze. Jose. Okay,
Jose.
Just double checking. His NPC is very unique because it has an afro, and most do not have an afro.
I enjoy his NPC quite a bit.
It's a contradiction to the average NPC.
Yakase picked up one of the greatest shirts available on the Mindless Entertainment Teespring store. It simply is a quote from the great Zach Blackfire. It is, "I like big assholes and I cannot come." And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, it means you're not spending enough time in the Mindless Mob. So Tuesday night, everything becomes canon. Things that became canon last night, specifically, Ford Explorer rolls are totally in. But by the way, the best place to go to eat is the Farm to Saskatchewan Bistro, where the bartenders dress like old pimps with shitty little mustaches and suspenders. The rule on my channel now is anything on my channel becomes canon. So now somewhere in the imaginary world that is Mindless Entertainment, there is the Farm to Saskatchewan Bistro featuring bartenders with shitty little mustaches and suspenders who dress like pimps.
Even the girl bartenders? Just
I like that.
Okay, that's unique. Like that. That's unique.
Basically, we play Mad Libs, and now piss-covered strawberries and hot buttered nuns are also things. So
that sounds so fun.
So you guys are gonna have to return the favor and come over to my stream then one of these days.
Yay.
No problem. You do it when I get off work, so that's good timing. So
perfect.
Heck yeah. With that, to make this not go to a 4-hour stream, I guess I'll try to end it right there. So thank you guys for coming by. Subscribe to my guests on here that are freaking awesome today. Love it. Thank you all for coming on by. Good to see some new faces around here. Will Gentry, I see you coming in at the last second. Just missing it, but that's all good. And I'll see you guys.